I thought you fell asleep, Sevan.
No. I did fall asleep, but I woke up.
Uh,
But bam, we're live. Good morning. Look at you guys.
You all
Good
right there,
morning.
Sevan?
Say that again.
You all right?
I'm awesome. I'm on fire. I am pumped. I was I was looking for my CEO wristbands and I can't find them on my desk. So I sent my wife a quick text. I'm like, "Yo, where's my stuff?"
You sweating already?
No, I'm cold. I have the CEO Sevan Podcast wristbands are so big on me that they keep me warm. They're like a blanket.
It's like forearm bands.
Yes, they are like forearm bands. I was so happy to see Jamie Latimer wearing them at the Masters Fitness Collective. I was like, "Oh, I'm not the only one who wears these."
Well, I'm waiting for mine. I mean, I didn't get anything from Brian Friend. I've been promised a T-shirt for the last 3 years. Nothing. Like zero.
Facundo, will you send me your mailing address?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can
Okay.
gladly.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Just reach Florence way and then Cookville, Tennessee, and we get it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Hey, do you take mail there in Cookville? Yeah, I guess obviously.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I'll have a shirt. I'll have a shirt for you at Rogue, Facundo. And if I don't, then you're gonna tell the whole world that I'm a liar.
Well, okay, deal.
Facundo, where are you now? Where are you now?
I'm home, Brussels, at my working table where I work most of my days. Yeah.
And who took those pictures behind you?
Oh, these are collected pictures that I buy in a store in Europe called Yellow Corner. I like photographs a lot, and so this is pictures that my sister also takes. I don't know if you see a little bit. Well, whatever they are.
Oh, that's a nice room.
Yeah, this is where I try to be clever, play to be clever. Actually,
Hey, how many countries have you been in? Do you know?
no idea.
Do you have a camera that a go-to camera besides your iPhone, or are you just pretty much an iPhone guy?
Just an iPhone guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I'm not very gifted in those things.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I loved cameras, and now I'm just straight an iPhone guy. But it's interesting with people who travel a lot. You never know. Like, hey, are they going to invest in a camera, or are they just like, yeah, I'm going to use my iPhone? Do you take a lot of pictures?
No, I'm really bad at it. That's why I like to have them, because it reminds me how bad I can be taking pictures. And I admire somebody else's talent on it that I don't have, clearly.
Brian's been traveling a lot.
I feel like I've been to a lot of countries, but I'm definitely last place amongst the three of us.
Well, we had a great time with Brian in Madrid, and actually, just for the record, we've been trying to set this podcast for many weeks now, and it's not because of me that it didn't work. Just
It's
for the
because
record.
it's not because of me.
No,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy it is working though. It's really cool. It actually wasn't too hard. You guys are great. Facundo, what's on the schedule now? Looking forward for you.
Well, we are
CrossFit wise.
so we are preparing these training camps competitions that Dave Castro mentioned yesterday. We already have a team. We start. No. I wish. I wish. That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
But no, we are preparing for Rogue. We're going to be at Rogue now in 3 weeks now, I think. Then South America, I'm going to be there giving some seminars in Uruguay, Chile, and Argentina. And after that,
Is that with what kind of seminars?
Oh, it's Mayhem Athlete Seminar. So we want to show the people how we work, what is a Mayhem Athlete Day looks like in programming. And after that, we're coming back to France for a training camp for Dubai. And after that, we're going to Dubai.
Why is the training camp for Dubai in France?
Because Lazar's girlfriend is in Strasbourg, which is where I started my career.
I heard a rumor that the world revolves around vagina. I never know if it's true, but then I see these
Well,
data
not for me.
but then I see these data points and I start to scratch my head.
Yeah. Well,
well, thank you. Good. Thank you for holding down the fort, Facundo. I'm glad someone's standing strong. Tell me about these mayhem seminars you're doing in South America. Are they for like, hey, this is what it would be like if you were a Mayhem athlete? Like, is it marketing for Mayhem, or is it education for people? What
Well,
is it?
it's a bit of education. It's a bit of community. Many people follow already Mayhem, but
Mhm.
Mayhem is there's a lot of ways to see the programming and to take advantage of it. So we're trying to come with the community and say, okay, guys, if you see this, these are the different options you have when you read this workout. It's not only linear. It's not like this is what's written. You need to do this and you'll get fit. People need to be inventive and know how to read the things, and also to a certain degree know how to manipulate according to their own needs. So it's just about being with our Mayhem people in South America, and to share a little bit of the experience of programming and how can they profit from it.
Speaking of the community, there are some interesting data points. I feel like we're seeing Rich hunting more, foraging for food more. We're seeing the episode on the guy who doesn't look like he's made of steel being highlighted and pushed hard, man. I've never seen Rich. Let me tell you something. I get 3 text messages a year unsolicited from Rich. And I already hear him. He sent me 3 this last month about this piece. Is the guy's name Phil? Philip?
Phil, yes.
Phil? Yeah, he sent me like basically 3 things already, like showing me like previews and stuff for it. So we have the foraging for food. We have the kind of the athlete that's always been at Mayhem, the person who's trained there, but they're really highlighting it and pushing it. And then thirdly, this newsletter, taking a page out of Andrew Hiller's book with the clickbait. You guys sent out a newsletter that says CrossFit is over, sending the world into panic. We're in a very sensitive time. People are very edgy. You can't be like just have a newsletter that says CrossFit is over. People start jumping off of bridges and shit. Is there a and then you have what's crazy is you have someone like Brute saying that they're doing a full rebrand. I haven't seen anything from them yet, but I go over to Max El Haj at Training Think Tank. His video looks completely new, and then I go over to Mayhem and I see all this not new stuff, but stuff being the newsletter thing is kind of new. Let's start there because that's the most exciting. CrossFit is over. Was that Mayhem just doing some clickbait? And I don't mean that in a negative way, in a derogatory way.
To be very honest, I cannot answer on that because I saw the newsletter, but I was not involved in the creation of it, on the content or what was the goal. But we have had this newsletter for a while now, and it's something that people, like to read. I mean, they get somehow news from us, from the CrossFit world, and a lot of things that we believe that they might be interested in reading on.
I heard it was a typo and it was supposed to say CrossFit Lover. The L got dropped out instead of CrossFit is over. CrossFit Lover.
Okay, yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
Sevan, do you still have a newsletter?
No, I don't. No.
Oh.
I mean, I do, but just no one does it. Do you want to do it?
No, I just was asking because I know that it was something you were doing a while ago.
Yeah,
you have a lot of free time, Brian.
Yeah, we have a newsletter that goes out, but I don't really do anything for that. I just it's basically just in case you missed anything. Here's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I need someone to do my newsletter. Who wants to do it?
Sure you can find someone.
And tell me about the all the hunting and the Phil guy. Is Mayhem pushing in sort of a broadening its forward facing image?
No, we are just sharing what we've been doing for a while, maybe sharing differently, but Rich has been hunting for a while now. It's not new. And, some people love to hear the stories about him hunting. And we have, in what I believe is one of the, if not the best media team that is around, and they create fantastic material, and it's very entertaining, and the community loves them. So that's about the hunting. Phil, it's a great guy. It's kind of not just the heart, but a legend at Mayhem. He's always having breakfast there, and this is such a nice, hard-working, sweet guy that you arrive at Mayhem in the morning and you want to sit and have a coffee with him. He's always in great mood, and he's someone that we love very much at Mayhem. And he has a story that we believe that was important to share to the world. I cannot say much because I don't want to give any kind of, special hints about what is it about. But it's a beautiful story about one of our members about a person in our at our gym, and we are celebrating him for the many things he means for us.
Have you seen the video yet?
No.
Facundo, there's dissension in the ranks. Sevan, pull up that comment from Logan Ewing.
Oh, let's see.
Which comment?
Oh, here we go. I think we have Logan scheduled. Facundo, Roman won't turn down the music, so Lazar and I can listen in between the sets.
Yeah,
Because
well,
we're not speaking Russian.
I know it's the three of them training together. I'm a bit sad that I'm not there, but I'm happy that I'm not there too. So let's see. They are preparing for Rogue, and they are being very
This is
cautious
a
on
pretty
stuff.
this is a pretty early arrival in the States for Lazar to get ready for a competition, even earlier than the games.
Yeah, I mean, well, Laza decided this year to be alone before the games. He trained at his in Temerin, where he's from, at home, and we decided to, for Rogue, maybe change that, and you can assess and evaluate what's best for you. Roman is there. They are great training partners. They like each other, and what's better than two great guys training together for a competition?
Is it true that you guys hired someone to stand in the gym at Mayhem and chirp at Roman so that he can acclimate to that new style of training?
Not that I know. Everything is
Okay.
possible, though.
Okay. All right. And what about the hunting? Is the hunting is Rich sort of pivoting towards hunting or trying to embrace the hunting community? Because he's obviously doing what he loves.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while. I think that he's more into biking at the moment than hunting, but hunting is such, an important thing for him for many reasons that he's also dedicating as much time as he can to doing that.
This idea that Dave put out with having the training camps go against each other, I don't think Proven has enough athletes to participate in anything right now. Do they?
Brian?
Brian, were you over at Proven recently?
I haven't been, but that's why I asked the question of the group is, the training camps is, the idea is cool, but what counts as being part of a training camp? If they announce that the training camp, let's say there's a training camp competition going on in December of this year. And right now I'm training with Mayhem, but the week before I decided to train with Proven. What camp am I on? I've only been there for a week. I either just switch over to the other camp. So I think
I'm okay with the casualness of that. I just don't think that they but
the reason I bring that up is because if they announce it, then Proven might be able to recruit more easily. They might be able to round out their roster. Even if they do have enough athletes, they might be able to get a higher caliber of athlete because they're looking to represent themselves as well as possible. And if there's no timeline, then people can just make these decisions in the last day, the last week. And is it really then a reflection of the training camp?
What other training camps would you add to that? Right away to me I thought, training think tank definitely should be there.
Well, if you're gonna do this, it really depends on how international do you want it to be, right? And I even think about like if it was Mayhem, for example, would you limit it to one Mayhem team? Could you have a Mayhem Lat Am team? They often have that at the
just
games.
Just one team, 3 people. Simple. Keep it simple this year.
Yeah. Are you going to invite the European programs?
Yes.
So definitely, Krieger training plan, the program at the very least, training culture from Spain.
Who's Krieger?
Krieger training. That's the one in Oslo that I was just at. They have like 20 to 30 semifinal or above level athletes that train every morning together.
Besides is that where Lena Lichter is?
Lena Richter, yes. Kristen Holta is part of the coaching team there.
Oh. Yeah. Do they have any other athletes besides Miss Richter?
Matilda Garnes, Seher Kaya, Andrea Solberg, Oslo Navy Blue, their entire team. Oslo Blackout, who was 12th at the games.
Do they have any boys there that I would know?
Well, the best guys are probably on the teams. Nikolai Bilodel, Victor Helsinghoff, who's right there on the right side, finished in the top 20 at the European semifinal. You don't know him, but you might one day. He's coming.
Yeah, all right. They can't be invited. They don't have any dudes.
But that's the thing. They might, if they are told that by the organizer, you in this case, then they might be able to find someone. Hey, we want to be represented there, and if there's no restrictions on how long they have to be training with the program to represent the program.
And someone like Medeiros wouldn't end up there because he's not in a training camp.
Well, but he very easily could be.
Right.
You know, he is in a training camp. And if you say there's only 3 that are needed, then it's him and Ellie, and Adam Neifert can find anyone he wants to fill in, even if he hasn't been training them. That's why I think the idea is broken.
They do have a boy and a girl there, like kids. They have 2 kids there.
Right. But the point, what's the point of the competition? Is the point of the competition just to have a showcase event, or is it actually to see which one of the training camps
healthy propaganda
is doing well? So,
what do you think the point of the competition would be?
Well, there's someone who asked Dave that, and maybe I want to know what they thought, and then what Dave's perspective is. But if I want to, the people always ask me, "Hey, are you going to do a comparison of which training camp did the best?" It's like, why do you want to know that? Do you want to know which training camp did the best because you like one over the other and you want to hold that over their head, or the other way around? Or are you actually trying to evaluate which training camp is the best, and what are they the best at? Would you rather have a training camp that has 5 athletes and they're all finishing the top 20 of the games? Or would you rather have a training camp that's able to get 50 different athletes at different levels to the CrossFit Games, regardless of how well they do?
I don't know, but I always found it impressive when Rory says some crazy number like 51 athletes at the games this year were doing mayhem training. I'm like, fuck yeah. Or
but what if I told you, and this is not truth, but what if I told you that 90% of them are finishing in the bottom 10% of their qualifying division?
That's cool too. That's an interesting bit of information too.
Not true. I'm just saying in an example.
Yeah, more information the better. But I like hearing all that stuff.
And so for me, it's like this is something, people have asked me, hey, why don't you do a ranking of the best coaches all time, or the best coaches in the game right now? That's really difficult, because let's just take Facundo for example. How much credit do I give Facundo for what Lazar's accomplished the last 3 years? How much credit do I give him for what Roman's been able to accomplish this year, or for Karen Frey in this upcoming year? These are athletes who are already good when he got them. How much better has he made them, and how much was their success built upon 5, 6, 7 years of training foundation that they had when he inherited them?
As a fan, I give the coaches shit tons of credit, and I don't really care.
Why don't we invite Brian Friend to this podcast? He's talking so good about me, about mayhem.
He's really pumping it up. Okay.
Did you have a good night's sleep, Brian, tonight, or are you still jet lagged?
Let me ask Facundo's hardest question of the day. Did you get it out of the way? Is Saxon Panchik a Facundo athlete or a mayhem athlete?
Well, Facundo is mayhem.
So, okay, so he's a mayhem athlete. Because I had him on, and he was speaking very, very highly of you. He was one of your athletes. He went over to Proven to try it out over there, and now he's back with you. And he was speaking very, very highly. Are you excited to have him back?
I'm very excited. I mean, we worked for a year, a bit more than a year, some years ago, and as he said it on the podcast, he needed new stimuli and new ideas, and he was going through a lot of changes in his life, and we talked about it, and it was the right thing for him to do to go and find new adventures, and but we always stay in touch, and we were friends. We always honored the time we were together as coaches and athlete. So when he needed to make another change in his training, we talk, and we evaluated different options. And when he asked me, if he's an extraordinary athlete, so I would be stupid if I said no, I will not have you back. He's not just a great person, but a great athlete, and I'm extremely happy to have him.
When you have that conversation with him about coming back, is there any are you asking him any things like, well, what are your goals now? Are you planning to do some off season? Why do you want to come back with me? Or are you just like, yes, let's do it?
Well, I know that Saxon is a very clever guy, so I don't think that it was very interesting for me to evaluate his goals, because I already know them. He wants to win the CrossFit Games, and he wants to, be the best he can be. But the most important talk we had is just to see how he was feeling the moment we started working together, and what were the things that he needed to put special attention on. And we decided together how to move forward for that.
I mean, you train a couple other guys who also want to win the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Who's that? Lazar and Roman?
Well, I have a lot. I mean, everybody wants to win the CrossFit Games, so I mean, I can give you 20 names maybe, but Roman, Lazar, Jorge, Agustin.
Jorge's your dude now. You're Jorge Fernandez's guy now too.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
You still with Uldis?
Well, Uldis follows Mayhem. I mean, if he needs some specific, of course, I'm always very happy to talk to Uldis because he's the coolest guy of them all.
Have we ever had him on here, Sevan?
He has. I think he has been on here. I get him and Maurice Feibig mixed up, but I haven't had Maurice on. But I had Uldis on, and I actually really enjoyed him. Uldis is I get Uldis and Henrik Happelainen mixed up. I had Uldis. Uldis is skateboard. He used to skateboard. He was on the show. He was on the. Let's see.
There he is.
Oh,
there he is,
yeah. This dude's cool. Oh, I was mixed. I'm getting him mixed up with someone else though in my head. Yeah, he's cool. Uldis is little too, right?
Just like you and me.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like an inch taller than me. He's shredded. He's a piece of steel.
He's stronger than us for sure.
Yeah, but he's not working with like he's not a naturally a 200-pound guy. Like he's working to stay his size hard.
Yes, I mean he's working on his strength mostly, but incredibly enough, I have not seen an athlete of that size that can deal with an assault bike or an eco bike as well as Uldis.
Oh, he's the parkour guy, and he had some gymnastic skills too, right? He was into planches and shit in a previous life.
So that's more like I really don't know, but
yeah. Oh, and he's the one with. Is he the one with the Caleb? Is he the one with the giant hog? He is in the sweatpants. Yeah.
That's why you had him on.
Yeah,
I know. It's funny because Uldis is such a great guy. He was competing.
Great guy with the giant hog. Sweatpants shot. Anyway, go on, Facundo.
No, I was telling a story about Uldis to see how fun, how a great guy he is. We were in the lowlands last year. He was trying to qualify. There he is.
Sorry, here's the hog shot. So I had him on the show. And I was trying to be so good because I felt like there were too many eyes on the show that day. So I didn't get to be like, hey, what's that in your pants? But I mean, look, that is a crazy shot. If you look at the diagonal, what is that? 5 o'clock. My goodness. I don't even think he knows. Europeans are so casual. Us Americans, we're like, oh, look at your giant piece. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Facundo. I interrupted. That picture should be brought up at least once a month on the show.
I was saying he was competing at the Lowlands last year, and we said after the second event of the year, I don't know, after one event, stay here, don't go to the hotel. There's a lot of traffic, and Lazar stayed there, and all this decided to go back to the hotel, and we always travel together. So he was on his own. So he went to the hotel, had food, and when he was trying to come back, asked for a Uber, and they keep canceling on him, like 5 minutes away.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And so he starts calling me, and I had other athletes that went competing, and I said, what's wrong? I cannot come to the competition. You'll get here. Don't worry. So he kept asking for Ubers, and they would cancel him like 1 minute before arrival time. Yeah. So he gets a bike, and he puts the telephone on the bike and start biking like crazy, going to the stadium. And at a certain point, he realized that he's farther from before. So he took the wrong way, and he was going the other direction. So he has to turn around, go back to the venue. It was already almost corral time. So people were waiting for him in the corral, and he won that event actually, which was a bike. I think it was something.
I thought there was some running in that one as well.
I don't know.
That's like some bad dream shit. Like you go to school naked, or you go somewhere and you forget your shit. That's like crazy.
Yeah, and
but for him, it was real life.
It was very funny for us, believe me.
Oasis, Shane versus Rich versus Matt. My money's on Shane. But mine's not. I'll take the bet. Jay Ruffner, I do Mayhem programming, so if Facundo needs a late replacement for Roman, holler. My 5K time is around 3 hours.
Okay. Send me a message afterwards so I keep your name in my roster.
He'll put you in the hierarchy of Roman replacements. There's this, sometimes people will say stuff like Roman's not really Mayhem athlete. He's just paid to be there. And then there was talk that someone in Dubai was paying him more than Mayhem so that he was going to move. And then we had two. And then I had Roman on. And what's interesting is I had Guy on. And Roman wanted to make it very clear that Rich was his fucking coach. Like he drilled that in. And when Guy was on, he was like I have a coach. And my coach is Facundo. Like I have like a coach. It's not just like, hey, can you tell me what those? Am I accurate in how I remember that? And can you tell me what those relationships are like?
I think it was the opposite. I think that Guy has been training with
But he kind of sounded like he switched. He said last year
yeah.
he made it sound last year that he had a casual relationship with Rich, but this year he wants to have a more structured relationship, and he's chosen to do that with you.
Yeah, no. So Guy is working this year with another one of our coaches, a great coach called Jake Foster.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Jake. Right, Jake. Okay, yes, that's what I meant. Sorry, Jake, Facundo, whatever.
Yeah, it's the
Just
same thing, right? He's tall, he's blonde, and
yeah, same thing.
No. So yeah, Guy. Guy needed. Well, you had him in the show earlier this month. I think he needed. He had specific needs, and Foster is there very often. He lives in Nashville, so he's every Wednesday he's at Mayhem. He's a great coach, and they get along super well. And I think that that's what Guy needs after the challenges he had to go this last year.
Like he wants more intimacy with someone. He wants to build a relationship with a coach.
Yeah,
like someone to bounce at like basically everything off. Like, hey, I heard on the Sevan podcast not to use fluoride. Should I quit that shit? Like he wants something.
Yeah, and I think that besides Foster being a great coach, he has a lot of the things that make him very compatible to the needs of Guy, and they have been working for a couple of months now. I think I know, and it's been great. So yeah, that's Jake Foster. Yeah, he's ready in case we go training camp against camp. He's going to be certainly one of the coaches that is going to be competing. No, not me.
Look in the background; it looks like Lazar on meth. Look at the guy.
I think they got plenty of coaches to pick from ahead of you at Mayhem, Facundo.
I know.
Between Rich and Jake Lockhart and Jake Foster, they're gonna be tough to beat.
I put the money on Foster. Foster is very fit too. But yeah, in any case, me and Justin and Max, we're going to go for drinks or whatever, play another game. No, so that is the case with Jake. We are very happy to have him on board. He's now directing the individual programming at Mayhem, and he's done a great job doing that. And so I'm quite happy that he's also working with Guy. And I think that he's going to be a right fit for Guy leading to this new season.
And one of Foster's athletes will be at Crucible in like 8 days, Seth Stovall.
Yeah, Seth. Yeah, many. So Seth, he's also did a lot of things for the Mayhem Independence team. So he knows very well what he's doing.
And your relationship with Roman?
I asked actually Brian. I really don't know where this idea of Roman not being a Mayhem athlete or being there for money comes from, and Brian didn't actually answer me properly where this idea came from. But
I'm okay with the camps paying athletes also.
Well, but the thing is that's not the case.
But who cares if you were?
Well, I wouldn't care, but it's not the truth. I mean,
okay.
Roman is a very, very methodic athlete.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that we were with Brian. We went through a little bit of the dynamics that we have with him and with Lazar and with all of my athletes, at least the one that I work with. And I speak to Roman every day. Roman, like all of my athletes at that level, they have a very strong say on the programming. It's not something that I build on my own. I talk to my athletes and what do you think is missing at the moment? What do you think you need to put more time working on? What can we leave on the side for a while? And Roman, it's a true Mayhem athlete. He's there, and it's funny because he's the most methodic of them all. He arrives every day at 8:30, every day. He leaves at 11:30, 11:45, comes back at 2:30, leaves at 5. As far as I know from him, he's very happy being in Cookville. he found a daycare for his son Leon, which is something that they were needing. So Anastasia can also train, and Roman doesn't feel that that he's training the whole day, and his wife is
I
the whole
saw her
day.
there training when I was up there for
Yeah,
Power Monkey Camp. She had a couple
yeah,
friends, and they were training on the side over there.
yeah.
Does she speak English, Facundo, his wife?
He speaks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She does too.
He speaks rather well, actually, better than Roman.
Interesting. Sorry, my inner demons are speaking. Jesus Christ, Sevan. What? Did I interrupt or what? What? What do you mean, Jesus? What am I supposed to? What? You think my shirt's too tight? What the fuck's going on? Sorry, one of my inner demons is speaking to me. And so going back to Jake Foster, and you said he's in charge of individual programming. Does he lay out some sort of template that everyone's supposed to do, and then
No.
you tweak from there?
No, the individual programming is open to everybody. I mean, we have been waiting listed for a while. Since he came, he brought a lot of great coaches with him, and every single athlete that is following Mayhem Performance Coaching gets a program that is individualized for that person. There's no template. There's that's what it is. What's the availabilities? What are your priorities? They have a lot of communication with the athletes. He's doing a great job.
Facundo,
Yes.
which
Right.
which top women are training at Mayhem right now?
At Mayhem at the gym or following Mayhem?
Start with at the gym.
Haley, Paige, Bailey, Anison,
Allison
Zoe.
who? Allison who?
Anison Suttercliffe.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Zoe. I think Emma Carey is often there at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of great athletes that you might not know.
And who's coaching all these girls?
Well, they all have a coach assigned. I think Emma is with Dom. Well, I don't think I know. Bailey is with Jake Lockhart. Paige is with Darren. Zoe is with Jake Foster. Haley, as she's telling the story, she found a couple of I need to be careful here. She found a coach in California that is helping her, and what we decided to do is she's following that person, and I'm overseeing a little bit on the overall direction of the programming. And
what athlete's that? Zoe?
Haley Adams.
Oh, Haley Adams.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it of the girls that are in the gym.
Brian, who's your coach in California? Since
I don't know.
Facundo can't say.
Oh no. Actually, Haley told you herself, I think, in the show some weeks ago when you were trying to inquire why was she so often in Hollywood. Yeah. I cannot.
Comments. I need help. I need help.
I can't say more than this.
Comments. I need help.
Well, but I can say something. I have a lot of contact with Haley, and she's doing great, and I'm so happy to see her back at Mayhem and training. And I know Haley for many years. I've never seen her so fulfilled and so happy and so full of joy as lately.
Oh, okay. I don't know the girl's name, but I've met her a few times, a handful of times. She has her and her husband. No, it's not Bryce Smith. Good guess though. I humbly say no, it's not.
But I want to say something because I saw a message now. No, I'm very impressed with what she's doing, because the most important thing is that Haley is enjoying training, and that's something that it's a major achievement. So I think that they're doing a great job.
Do you think there's some conventional wisdom about when you see athletes get dogs or oh yeah, her. Yeah, her. This chick's cool. And her husband. I think they train actors and actresses. I met them at the street parking event at the ranch. So what's this lady's name again? Let me see this lady's name again. Haley. Oh, another Haley. Well, that's shit. That's Ely. Haley and Haley. Facundo, do you like you saw I don't mean this to pick on Medeiros, but you see Medeiros get a girlfriend, and then you see him get a dog. Do you have any like immediate thoughts on that? But like, just even if they're subtle, like, hey, don't complicate your life. Like, why would an athlete get a dog? You have to worry. You're training now. You got to go back and like walk them. You got to deal with picking up poop. Is it a drain, or is it more like you think it's more? There's a therapeutic piece that they need.
Do you know that Roman brought his own dogs from Russia when he moved to Cookville?
I didn't know that.
I think maybe I heard that. He already had the dogs.
Yeah, he had. That's what he moved him from Russia to the States. So I cannot say anything.
Like such a pain in the ass.
You know that Jason Hopper got a dog last year.
Did he really?
Yeah, middle of the year. I think if you find success with the dog, no problem. If you already have success, then you get the dog. There's a trend developing.
I'm joking, but not joking. It seems like, why would you want to complicate your life in a time that you want to be so focused, right? I mean, even think of it in the inversion of it. Rich wanted to stop being individual, and his primary reason was because he wanted to spend time with his kids. He didn't want something competing with the attention he could give his kids. If you were a coach and someone was like, "Hey, I want to get a dog," what do you think? Do you have any?
No, I really don't.
You don't weigh in there.
I don't mess with these kind of things. I mean, as long as they come to the gym and they work hard and they do whatever needs to be done.
Have you ever told an athlete they should break up with their mate?
Maybe it's long-term.
Have you ever had a male athlete or a female athlete and you're like, dude, you seriously you want me to be friends with you? Want me to be friends with you?
Yeah.
You're pussy whooped and that bitch is fucking you up.
I do remember. I cannot say the name, but it's because
that's fine.
I do remember. Do you remember training grounds in Boston when Reebok used to do training grounds at Boston before the games? Reebok would invite SMEs, and they were coaching people that were going to the games, Reebok athletes, and I was invited to go there with Hinshaw back in the day, 2015, 16, and we were working there, and there was a lot of great athletes. Vellner was there. Many other great athletes were there. And I was sitting in a chair, and the telephone of a male athlete who just qualified for his first games, was next to me. And the girlfriend was sending, the weirdest messages of why wasn't he answering the phone. And I was like, oh man, I mean, the messages were really violent almost. So I think that in that case, maybe.
Did you tell him? Do you say something to him?
No. I could tell
you don't.
No. I was a little baby there, fresh, new. I didn't dare to say anything.
I remember. I think it was Dan Bailey, talking to Dan Bailey once with many years ago, and he was talking about dating a girl who, if she needed to be texted like every 2 or 3 hours, and if she sent a text and didn't respond, and he said that was sort of the normal thing for protocol for relationships in whatever year it was, 2015. I was like, wow, this is fucking crazy.
Dan Bailey dated a girl in 2000?
I don't know. Maybe I'm making it up. I know it doesn't sound very plausible, but
maybe, yeah. Well,
could have been short-lived.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's old dogs like me don't realize the demand that's put on relationships these days because of that tether, that electronic tether, right?
Sevan, I have a question for you, because I was invited, all rumors on the table. You were at the games this year for the first time in many years, right? And I saw you there. We talk a lot. You were very happy. You were amazing, actually.
I was high as a kite, dude. I was high as a kite.
I was very happy to see you around.
Thank you.
What was the person that surprised you the better of the people you saw at the games this year? And what is the person that you were like, oh, I don't want to see that person again?
Are you talking about an athlete or just any person?
Any people at the CrossFit Games, like that people can relate to.
So someone who had a surprisingly positive impression on him and a surprisingly negative.
I am such a clout chasing whore that anytime I could stand next to Bill and Katie, I was like so excited. And in all the years I've known Bill and Katie, they engaged me more ever this year. Not like, I'm not saying it was even a lot, but more than ever. Like Katie would walk by and like give me the middle finger or push me or say, hi, what did you think of this? And I was all for it. Bill would come over and
you love a girl that gives you the middle finger.
yeah, anything, any attention I could get from them, I was like more than like I was just included in shit. It was cool. A lot of candid just hanging out with them that in years past I didn't. I don't know if they were liking me more or if they just talked more. And you want to hear something else? This isn't going to probably make sense to a lot of people, but I had never seen them hang out so much together. In all the years in the past, I'd always seen them kind of like doing their own thing, but they were together a lot. And that made me feel like, I don't know, I liked that. It
The
made
only
me
time that
feel
I
like
saw them
very
on the weekend,
romantic about
they were-
them or something.
the only
Yeah.
time I saw them the whole weekend, they were together. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right about that.
And the people that I had the weirdest interaction with, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't want to see them because I really enjoy even my, you know how it is, Facundo, you have kids and so there can't really be an arch nemesis in my life anymore. You would have to do something to hurt my kids for me to like even let you get to a level to where you could bother me. But the people that the most disappointing interaction I had was I went up to Shane Orr and I said hi to him and I could tell he was like basically like hi, but stay the fuck away from me. And then a handful of times I was standing like I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone off in the corner underneath the underbelly, and it was just me and this person, and we were face to face. It was a big athlete, I can't remember, but someone big, like a Vellner or a Roman or someone. I was very close to this athlete. It was crowded under there, and Tia came right up and entered our triangle. Like we made the triangle. You know when three people are really close. She had her baby, and she couldn't even like look at me, and that just bummed me out. Not like because even the people who maybe I had the most beef with, I still went up and said hi to them. Hi, how are you? I was so sweet. I appreciated everyone who was there, who was whether it was Tonto or Nikki Brazier. I respected their craft. I was super cool to them. I stayed out of their way. I respected them like I respected everyone there. Yeah. So that just bummed me out a little bit. That I won't bring the beef under there. Do you know what I mean? Maybe someone thinks that's fake. Maybe someone would say, hey, you're a fucking asshole. You talk shit on your show, but in person, you're a nice guy. Well, that's not how I saw it. I mean, I haven't heard anyone say that. I'm just free flowing now with you. But at that event, I think it's like, hey, the family's back together. But you know, I'm going through this thing right now that like people who normally would have said shit to offend me, I still like more and more people as the show gets bigger and bigger are talking more and more crazy shit. But I kind of still like them now. Like before, as 5 years ago, I'd have hated you. But now, like I'm still like, yeah, we're good. It's okay. You can say that about me. He's a fucking know-it-all. I know.
Facundo, are you satisfied with his answer?
I am. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Isn't it good? Okay, good.
One of the things that I admire about Sevan, and he knows that I'm the same. We talk. We say what we put ourselves in trouble very often because of that, but we are rather honest on our answers.
There's someone who told me that they don't want to be my friend, really, that they want there's someone who told me they want distance from me because I'm friends with Hiller. And I think that's what's going on with Tia and Shane. I think for some reason, like, and I've defended them ad nauseum to Hiller, but I think that probably my vicinity to someone who is like, hey, you're on drugs, it makes me so that they don't want to be around me. And I'm not mad at them for that either. Like, I get it, but that's my only understanding of why they wouldn't like me. I was critical of her holding dumbbells over a baby's head, but like people are critical of me teaching my kid to throw with his left hand. They call me Hitler because I want to make my kid ambidextrous. It's cool. We're good.
His pistols are pretty good.
Look at Hitler's like, who is it?
Yeah. It's funny because I mean, it's incredible that people cannot also differentiate that you might agree or not with Hitler on certain stuff, but you know, to expect you not to be somebody that's his friend or to support somebody that you appreciate just because, you know, It's
It
this,
is
very
pretty. It is pretty. It is the ultimate sin. It is the ultimate accusation to accuse an
Yeah.
athlete of being on steroids, though. So like, I'm not like they're fucking crazy. They should be able to tell the difference between me and Hiller. And also, he's my fucking like. I'd let him carry me like a baby around. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
this
I
is
love
just
the
this
guy.
thing
Yeah.
about it's a human tendency, this guilty by association. Let's say
Yeah.
that there's someone that's extremely against hunting and killing animals, and so therefore they want nothing to do with Rich Froning. Does that mean they want nothing to do with Facundo? Facundo might also have no interest in doing that, but he's part of that group. So I mean, you can extrapolate it to any situation, and it's just a risky road to go down.
But I tell you something about Hitler. I mean, we talked many times, and sometimes he had a question or something, and he could perfectly take, oh, okay, I thought it was different. Thank you for letting me know that. And I think he's a very clever guy in the way he assumes his job and whether he's can be right or wrong. And same as you, Sevan. I mean, he's a super cool dude to have around. I mean, he was at the games very often too, and I enjoyed talking to him often.
He either way, he's bringing a shitload of energy to the scene. A shitload of energy to the scene.
Facundo.
Yeah.
What about the female athletes that aren't training in Cookeville?
A lot. If you want to ask me, I know what you asked me about because you're involved in this story, right? I started working with Karin Frey some months ago, and it's because of Brian. Actually, partly because of Brian. Karin Frey is an extraordinary Slovakian athlete that just won Madrid, and I'm yeah, she's.
Well, she's won a lot more competitions than just Madrid.
No, just won Madrid,
Right.
and yeah, she's extraordinary. I'm very excited about having the chance to work with her, and it's very funny because I met Karin early this year in a competition. You remember Lazar had been doing not very well at the end of last year in Rogue. He has his ankle issue. In Dubai, he had a COVID, so he was not really fit. And at the end of December, Lazar calls me and says, "Oh, coach, I'm going for a competition in January." And it's like, Lazar, you can barely do 5 burpees in a row. You just can't compete. And I didn't want him to be again exposed to, to go into a competition and be frustrated. And I said, "No, don't worry, everything's under control. And just send me programming." And then so I started sending stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's really complicated. I cannot really train. I've been coughing the whole time." I said, "Lazar, just don't go." No. I need to go to this competition. It's going to be fine. You don't worry." So I go to Germany to see him compete. And I was really worried because Lazar was not,
What was the event?
It was a competition in Cologne. I don't remember the name.
Okay.
But when I get there, I see I see Lazar super happy. And he's like, "Oh, coach, Facundo." And it was a team workout. It's a team competition with Karin Frey. And she was doing 99.9% of the work. She did everything. And I was seeing this girl competing. And he was like, "Oh, man, I love this woman. I really will love to work with her." She was so extraordinary. And after that, I remember that I texted Brian and said, "Do you know Karin Frey?" And he's like, "I love Karin Frey. She's one of my favorite athletes." And yeah, a couple of months later, I had the chance to start working with her. And
Who was she with?
She's been working with Miko Salo for many years.
Oh shit! Is she Finnish?
Slovakian. She's like 5 or 6 years in a row the fittest in Slovakia.
That's a country, Slovakia.
Yes, when Czechoslovakia separated.
Look at that comment from Jake Chapman. That should be a T-shirt. That should be the Karin Frey's Mayhem T-shirt. You just spell her name correctly.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
Into the storm, into the fray. I like it.
Yeah. So that's her.
Facundo, you have this situation with Haley being there, but having a coach outside in Los Angeles. Then you have this other situation with Emma Carey actually coming with her coach, or you could say her coach coming with the athlete, Dom and Emma coming from Brute. Is this the first this has happened for Mayhem, where are you guys exploring new avenues of how the facility can accommodate people and athletes? or this is just normal? This is just the way it is in high level sports.
Well, I mean, this level of athletes have specific needs, and they need a reference, a coach that it spends most of the time with them, and have is able to build like a very close relationship with their athletes. And for the amount of athletes that we are very lucky to have at Mayhem, we needed also an amount of coaches, of very well prepared, proficient coaches to help us dealing with that. So that's I think that's just that.
Okay, I'm not happy with that answer. Let me take another shot at. Did Dom and Emma come to Mayhem because God told them to?
I haven't been in Mayhem since the games, but I think that they're very happy there, and the environment is very good for them.
I just put on my toe spacers. Well, while you were talking, here's the so they were at I'm not happy with that answer either. They were at Brute, and they both have a strong. From what I hear from my interaction with Emma, and from what I hear about Dom, they have a strong affinity towards the Bible and Christianity and those values, and she was very complimentary of Matt Torres. She'd been there since she was 15 years old over at Brute. And now they wanted to try something new, and they came together as has an athlete and a coach ever come together to Mayhem like that?
No, that I know.
Did you come to Mayhem with an athlete?
Yeah, I came with Mayhem with but
okay,
I was a bit different because I was already with Rich back in the day.
Okay. So this is is she there? Did they move there? Do they live there? Do they have residence there?
I don't know. I think that they've been visiting and they're considering what to do.
Okay. So it's not official. They're not like, you don't know if the month before the game she'll be there training, and that there'll be Mayhem athletes.
She's a Mayhem athlete, as far as I understand, and it's official. It's just like you can be a Mayhem athlete and you don't have to live in Cookville.
Okay.
And I think that they're evaluating their options, but I understand that they're moving there soon.
Is it is that when that happens? Does that how does that affect people like Bailey or Paige Powers?
I don't think that they would affect negatively at all, because one of the things that Rich was very clever in creating at Mayhem is an environment of a lot of respect, and in my eyes, there's only one alpha person at Mayhem, and that's Rich Froning. The rest is great athletes and so on, and everybody's very respectful about each other's job and the way they train and so on. So Mayhem is also a huge facility, and everybody has their own space if they need it, or they can train together. So I think that, and also Bailey and Paige are two of the sweetest girls that I know, and I'm sure that they'll be very happy to have the chance eventually to train up and down with Emma.
Have you met Haley's boyfriend?
So, excuse me?
Have you met Haley Adams' boyfriend?
I don't know. I met a lot of people. I met a lot of people through Haley.
And you're not sure if maybe you met someone who's having a romantic interest with her, but maybe not. You're not sure.
I might have.
You might have. Have you ever seen her open mouth kissing one of these friends of hers that you met?
No, I have not.
All right.
I have not.
Because if you did, that would probably be the one that she's dating.
Yeah, I haven't seen any kind of interaction of that kind. So
you ever see any open mouth kissing at all at Mayhem? You ever been like when's the last time you seen someone French kiss at Mayhem? You ever seen any tonsil hockey at the old gym? You ever see Tyler and Bailey? You see Tyler slap Bailey's ass? Does he slap her ass maybe?
They are both Tyler and Bailey are two of the most elegant people that I know in life. So
I
don't
understand.
think there would be anything that they were likely to do there, at least.
I understand, but after 300 air squats for time, something needs to be. Sometimes,
yeah, I think that after 300 air squats for times, you don't want to kiss anybody. Just want to go.
But you got to slap that thing if. Here we go. This is the Champ's mom. Shannon Medeiros, 2 times games champion. I'm disappointed. You have to read this in a nice motherly voice, right? I'm disappointed in Mr. Jukic Lazar after admitting I ran my bike into his leg, and 2022 elbowing, especially coming from Mayhem, because they're such good Christians. Maybe training with Roman, he can learn some sportsmanship. But Shanna, just because he says he ran his bike into your beautiful son's leg doesn't mean he did it on purpose. Or is that the insinuation that he did it on purpose?
As far as I understand, Lazar suffered from that event more than anybody else. So I think that anything that might happen there was detrimental to him more than anybody else. I don't think, and I know, to be very honest, and I know Lazar very well, and he is one of the most correct, ethic athletes that I know. He can be moody, he can be this, can be that, but he's a very correct guy, and I think that her message also might point out that Roman knows about sportsmanship, which is maybe another chapter that he's trying to talk about. No, I think that was an accident, and these things happen in competition. I don't think that at any. It would be really, sorry for me to say like this, very silly for me to think that Lazar will like to do something like that out of lack of sportsmanship, which I completely can state that he has a lot of. He's a extremely decent, correct, and also elegant athlete.
He is very aggressive, though. He's an aggressive man. Right? I mean, I don't mean that in any negative way. I mean, I would say Justin Medeiros is a very aggressive man too.
Well, I think that in competition floor, everybody needs to be aggressive to, they are competing. But there's a line. We're going back to this chapter. Maybe there's a line in which aggressive is still, part of competition itself, and the way and the mechanisms you have to display your fitness or your performance. And there's a crossing that line, which is, doing something that will not allow a fellow competitor to show that on the same way you are allowed to.
And that's just from like a practical perspective. If you're on a run and you give someone an elbow, okay. If you're on a bike and you crash into them on purpose, that's not going to do yourself any favors in terms of competition either.
But I understand. Medeiros' mom might be concerned about that, but I can vouch completely for Lazar on this topic, and any topic, but especially on this topic.
I do want to say that it was inappropriate how strong the margaritas were she brought me at the ranch the last time. It was totally inappropriate. It's like I was fucking rude.
That was aggressive.
It was rude. Shannon, that was totally uncool. I think you roofied me. Man, I don't even remember that day. They love Jesus. Would it be blasphemy if Guy had a shirt that says I love Jesus, but you spelled it like that? Would that cool? Would that be cool? Would it be blasphemy?
I don't think that he would find that funny.
Do you think he found it funny when I brought it up on the show?
I haven't seen that show. But
he handled it well. I think he acted like he thought it was funny.
Yeah,
because he says Jesus instead of Jesus, which is maybe how they say it in Brazil.
Yeah, I tell you something too. Guy is a very elegant guy, and I have a little bit of a memory of himself at Copa Sur. He did great, but he had one really bad event at the first event, who put him almost out of a spot to go to the games. And when that last event finished, and he did not beat his fellow athletes that would have given him a chance to come to the games, I was very, very sad and very worried for him and for Agustin, or other of my athletes. But Guy, in a most elegant way, stood up from the ending line and started applauding to the 2 Brazilian guys that made it to the games. And this is something that, of many things that I lived with Guy, I would always cherish that elegance that he had, because it was not fake. It was something that he felt, and that moment I was extremely surprised on how how he behaved.
I
And he's
was
young.
watching
And he's young.
that too. That was was that the second week this year? Or was it?
Kabasur was the second weekend, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching that, and I was impressed because it's that's the weekend for CrossFit Games athletes. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, you have to show up that weekend and qualify. And if you don't, then your season's over as far as the CrossFit Games season is concerned. And in that moment, it can be so easy to be down on yourself, mad at yourself, blame anyone else. And I didn't see any of that from him. And maybe he leaves the competition floor and he goes and cries by himself or does whatever in the background. But in public, there on the floor, he did celebrate those guys. That was cool.
Yeah. These are people who, I see very often athletes always trying to blame their environment or whatever everything external to them, and something like Guy or Lazar or even especially Roman have. It's like they take responsibility and ownership for whatever happens to them. So yeah.
And when they do that, it's probably more likely that they're going to get better results, right? Because they're paying attention to what they can control.
I mean, throughout the games, it's very funny. Every time that Roman does a mistake or something, he goes like, he kind of hit his head like me silly. I've never heard Roman say, no, the judge was not good or this or that. And he's a guy that, takes it and takes full responsibility of all the things.
Is he excited? Is he pretty excited to go to Rogue?
He's excited. Yeah, he's been working really hard on keeping his fitness with the shortcoming of not being able to use his foot fully. But this last week he's been training really hard, and he's happy to come to Rogue.
What are the last things to come back off that foot injury?
Well, jumping, double unders, heavy rope double unders, step overs, lunges, because of on the steam of the intensity, you never know how your foot is going to be placed. Whether you need to have special attention on the things. But I think he's going to be. I look forward to seeing them competing at Rogue, both of them.
I had I spoke with Justin Kotler yesterday and on my podcast, and he was talking about the Ricky shoulder and that Alex Kazan has this wrist injury coming in, and I kind of said, like, man, like, you're talking pretty openly about some of those limitations that they might have approaching a competition, and some athletes and coaches choose not to do that. Obviously, in the case of Roman, it's very public that he had a broken foot at the last day of the CrossFit Games. But what do you think about that in general? Like, as a coach or an athlete, is it worth mentioning some of the things that might be limiting you coming into a competition, or better to say nothing?
Look, Roman is a very open guy and very direct. I don't think he's going to say anything about it or how he feels or whatever. I just came to compete. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully, takes me wherever I want to go. Take into consideration what I've been doing. No, I don't think that he's going to make any kind of announcement whether he feels good or anything. He just goes for it.
Do you think athletes should do that?
Sorry?
What do you think about when athletes do that? I mean, last year, you just mentioned last year at Dubai that Lazar was sick, but he didn't want to tell anyone during the competition.
I think that in competition, they need to have the support to choose whatever they believe is best for them. Taking into consideration that choice is a correct and clever choice, right? I told Lazar in Dubai, leave the competition, just go back home or go to the mall or whatever. I said, no, I want to compete. It's the same thing last year at Rogue, and I think that there is a learning curve even competing without having your full strength, and they certainly learn something about. I mean, it is remarkable how fast Lazar recovered from those events last year to go into the Open, have a great Open quarterfinals, to win his regional in Berlin with an amount of extraordinary athletes, and to do so well at the games, because he had a rough second semester of the year. But yeah,
well, and that's part of the reason why I ask, is because critics are going to watch and analysts and fans are going to watch the last thing that you did. And if you go out there and you compete and you're Lazar Djukic, who's coming off 2 straight top 10 finishes, and you finish 12th place in Dubai and you don't say anything about it, now people are saying, oh, this guy's like, those were mistakes. This guy's not that good. He can't even finish in the top 10 there. And that's
okay, I can tell you that it's been proven lately, shown that Roman does not really care what other people say, and he just has his way of seeing things, and he discusses them with the people that he considers can give a valid opinion to that. But then he will do and he will behave according to his own feeling, and that's something that I admire enormously on them both, because to me it's called integrity, and that's what they both have. I mean, they make a choice and they stand by this choice, and yeah.
And I'm not saying that athletes should necessarily do that. I'm saying that's what they have to weigh in their mind when they make a decision to disclose or not disclose something that might be going on. And it's also just, for people to be aware that there are a lot of things that are happening. Like, it's pretty rare that an athlete comes into a competition feeling perfect in terms of health and fitness. Like, there's often little nicks and things that are happening, and maybe they happen on day one, and then they have to figure out a way to deal with it. I mean, no one knew about Pat's hands at the games when he ripped him on the rope. He chose not to say anything. If he would have finished 10th place and then showed us that, we would have been like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. But he chose to just do it anyway. Obviously had a much better finish than that. So just to be like, for the skeptics, for the critics, for the people watching, just to sometimes consider, if someone has a performance that doesn't seem in line with what we're used to seeing from them, sometimes there's other things going on.
I think that if you are not an athlete, or you're not the coach of that athlete, there are so many things that even with an explanation are so far away from the understanding of a person watching from a television or from a computer. There is a world of things that, because of distance, people are not able to grasp. And who are the critics, in a competition?
Yeah. Let Roman know if he needs some fresh perspective and understanding of the world, that he should listen to this podcast. Hey, listen, I can't remember if it was at the games. I think Danielle, right the week before the games, Danielle Brandon was blasted with a huge dose of antibiotics. She didn't tell anyone. That'll fuck anybody up. That'll fucking take 10% off of your shit. Yeah. Of course, there's stuff we don't know, but I still think we can talk all the shit we want.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like maybe they don't care about it. That's the point. I think we can spend hours. I mean, how many hours have we spent talking about Roman since the games? Hundreds of hours. So
I hope he put on some followers, and his sponsors love it. Car Saunders, tell me she's coming back. Tell me she's coming back. Tell me.
Well, she sent a message saying that if the training camps are in, she's going to compete with Mayhem. She said,
okay.
She said,
that's a data point. We know she will fight if.
Well, she might have to compete for that spot. There's some big names up there that she'd have to prove herself to be better than.
So you know what's crazy? I think those training camp situations is fun. It makes me nervous, all the questions Brian was asking about it, because like I don't want it to turn into something like that. But that situation is made for someone like Car Saunders. Close proximity, other camps. She'd be head fucking people. No one's head fucking her. She's a lion. She's made for that close quarter reality show type. She'd be awesome in that. But
don't forget that Cara spent July of last year at Mayhem already, preparing for the games. She spent the whole month with her wife and her daughter, back then her only daughter, preparing for the games 2022.
Her husband? With her husband, you mean?
With her husband, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, she's amazing. She's an extraordinary athlete, and yeah.
Did she try to go to Rogue? Do you know if she is doing any? Does she have any competitions on the horizon?
No, I really don't know. I mean, she was last year at Rogue. I remember we were discussing, and she was like, "Oh, I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing any of this next year for this year." I remember that she won the last event, and I remember that she came and said, "Yeah, now I'm done." It's a good way to finish this.
It sure would be fun to watch her compete.
There's an open spot at for women at Rogue right now.
Yeah.
How bad is Alexis Raptis? Do you know, Brian?
No, I just.
She's supposed to come on the show tomorrow morning. I wonder. I hope that's still going to happen.
Oh, you had her scheduled before that announcement.
Yeah.
Well, that hopefully she still comes on. Yeah, it'd be great to talk to her. I just reached out to her coach last night to make sure they were doing all right. He said yes. So obviously she won't be at Rogue, but I think that she's in good hands in terms of, dealing with it.
So Facundo, what I'm hearing from you is that Cara Saunders she's retired, but she would come out of retirement. No.
I mean, that is something that happened last year at Rogue. I knew that she wanted to try to have another child, and that was the case. So I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her ever since to see what I think that at the moment she's very, very much enjoying being a mom.
And I actually appreciated her perspective last year. After Rogue, I wrote an article when I was working at Bar Bend about Cara's 10-year career in the sport. And I asked specifically if she was retiring from the sport. And she said, a lot of people have said they're retiring and then they come back. So I don't want to make a statement one way or the other. I'm just, I'm interested in building a bigger family, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Kenneth DeLapp, I bet Angela would open mouth kiss Rich. I think so. I totally think so. I have no. Yeah, so far behind on the Facundo. Does Facundo think Vellner can beat Lazar on Thursday? What's Thursday?
I don't know what's on Thursday.
Yeah. Go to your room. Go to your room.
I think there's I'm going to take a guess here. I think there was a quote sometime. Maybe it was Vellner or maybe Lazar saying something about just can beat me on any given Thursday or something like that.
Okay.
That's right. That was yes. Wow, Brian. Good memory.
Good boy.
I said, so Lazar was on the show and he said, yeah, on my best day, I can beat anyone. And I said, hey, Vellner, what do you think about that line? And Vellner was so slick, just casually. I think I could beat him on any Thursday or something like that. I think I can beat him any day. Not even Vellner's best day.
Everything is possible.
Great answer, Facundo. Horrible answer, Facundo.
Everything is possible.
I'm digging. Yeah, of course, Facundo. Does Facundo think Roman will ever be back on the podcast? Of course.
But Laura was twice in your podcast, no?
Laura Horvat?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was twice.
I think that Roman will be glad to see you again, Sevan, on the second week or the third week of August next year.
Okay, good. Perfect. I like it. Right after he wins the games?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think that if he would have stayed in, he would have won the games? If he hadn't hurt his foot, that was a slam dunk?
So it's funny.
That was like a lot of confidence.
2 hours ago, I just posted on my Instagram that I was coming to the podcast, and I have like all the questions were about that and Roman's Sunday. Keeping yourself healthy is part of competing, and Roman failed on doing that because he, everybody knows what happened. I do believe that if he would have been in full capacities, in my heart and in my head, I don't have any doubt that Roman would have won the CrossFit Games.
Well, I thought you were going to avoid answering the question, and then I was going to follow up with, so you think it's not cool to speculate if he would have won? But no, you're saying undeniably, if he would have stayed healthy, and you do recognize that staying healthy is part of the game, but if he would have stayed healthy, he'd have fucking won easy.
On Saturday, we when the events were released, we had a list of things that didn't show up. So we knew that we were going to be part of Sunday. The Echo Bike, for example, is like Rogue equipment. Rogue, as you will know, manages all the material at the CrossFit Games. So we thought that it was very likely to have a Sunday with those kinds of events. We thought of parallels too. And there are things where Roman is really, really good. So, yeah, I mean, as I said before, in respecting Jeff, Roman failed in keeping himself healthy, and that was what put him out of contention for winning the CrossFit Games. In my understanding and how I see the sport and how I saw the competition, I think that if Roman would have been in good health, I don't have any doubt that he would have won the CrossFit Games.
Facundo, on the
Tell
flip
me.
side of that, after he gets injured on Sunday morning, I think that now everyone is aware of this rule that CrossFit changed this year, that you could keep your points. So if you withdrew from the competition, you could still retain your points and finish where those total points would have placed you. He earned 0 points in events, the last 2 events on that day.
Yeah.
Was there any conversation about, hey, we don't have to compete, we can still keep our points? Was that between you and CrossFit, between you and him, or was it just like, no, I'm going out there no matter what?
No, to be very honest, it was a very difficult moment, as you can imagine, for all of us. And I was also coaching Alex Caron a couple of months before in Orlando, where he was disqualified for his chest injury, and it was very incorrect because it didn't come very well. 5 or 10 minutes before corral time, they called Alex into a corner. They said, "Hey, bro, we can let you compete. You're over," and so on. So there was no time for discussion, for conversation, for anything. Alex was out, and I was so upset about how that was dealt by the competition organizers. So when Roman had his injury, I called Rich. Actually, Rich came to well, you all saw him. He was on the backstage on the warm up area, and Roman was very sure he wanted to compete, and he didn't. I mean, I think that in Roman's head, he thought, I just want to finish. I don't have a chance to sit on the podium. I just want to finish the competition. There was never an idea of, okay, but I want to earn this money, or I will do this, or I will do that. He just want to keep competing. And we had a super short conversation with Rich and with Roman and with Rosa. Rosa.
Mhm.
Rosa, I love you. If you're listening to this, just I want to let you know very clear. And Roman said, no, I just want to compete. Make me sign whatever paper I have to sign. Any disclaimer, I take full responsibility, but I just want to keep competing.
So it didn't even come up because the night before, BKG was dealing with an injury, and so he found out what the rules were, and he went out and did a lift just to kind of log a lift, even though it wasn't really competing. But this was just Roman wanted to be out there.
We never thought that was going to be the case, that we would have to find ourselves into a situation of thinking, well, if this happens, on Saturday night.
I mean, look, there's if you think back to Brooke Wells, she could not compete, and because of that, she lost out on a lot of money and placing on the leaderboard that she would have had that year. Even if Roman didn't think he could take the podium, I mean, in my mind, it's like someone probably should ask the questions: what happens if we withdraw? Do we still? Because otherwise, we'll go out there and we'll take the floor and see it through, because we want to still make more money, get a higher placement, whatever we can.
I understand, but honestly, the possibility of not competing and its consequences were never raised. We would never.
And no one from the competition team said, "Hey, man, you're injured. I don't think this is a good idea."
Yes, of course I did. Of course I did.
But it was very different than how they approached Alex at semifinals.
Alex was very unfair because they just didn't approach him. They just tell, "Hey, bro, you're out."
Or
there was no conversation.
Roman, or you could say Roman was unfair. You could say there was inconsistency between the way the two were handled, is what you're saying. You would like to have seen them both handled the Roman way, not both the Corona.
There was a different person in charge at those 2 times of the season.
Well, also there was a different element because Alex had written to CrossFit a couple of weeks before, saying, is there a minimum work requirement for that workout?
Ooh.
And CrossFit did not. Said you need to come to the briefing and you'll find out. So he still, traveled to Orlando. To travel to Orlando. In the briefing, said there was no minimal work requirement. So he said, okay, why? No, I'll try. If I can, I'll try. At least I'll do one. But it never came into consideration that, if I don't do a rep, I'm out.
When I had Roman on the show, did you ever hear anything about Rosa's interpretation of what he was saying, that maybe it was wrong, that it was incorrect? Because going back and thinking about it, I was like, man, there's shit he said that for sure he said that she didn't say.
No, Rosa is extremely faithful to Roman's words.
Okay.
I mean, I don't speak Russian.
Okay.
I don't speak Russian, so I couldn't say. But
okay.
Rosa.
I thought I heard him say, "Fuck Adler, I'll eat his kids." He didn't say that. No, I'm joking. No, I didn't hear anything like that. I didn't. But I did think it was off a little bit. I do think it was something was okay. Okay, fine. Okay.
But I will tell you something that sorry that I said. Please. You said the other day, and I think it's the most accurate thing about all the situation. I think that when Roman came into the podcast, he said, "Okay, man, I never intended for this to grow so much. He was like, okay, what am I doing here? Are we really having a podcast on this topic?
Yeah. He seemed
And
almost a little embarrassed. Like, I did not want this to be like this.
I don't think embarrassed,
Yeah.
but I think there's like,
Or too much energy went to it, maybe.
too much energy. And I want to say something that very often people ask me. I have not seen many athletes that are less complaining about like Roman Krenikov. And I want to tell you something. He won his regional 2018. That year, there was another Russian athlete who tested positive. And the whole world was like, of course, it's Roman Krenikov. Nobody knew him last year. How is it possible that he wins the Berlin semifinal? So during months, everybody was speculating of him being not clean. Roman never said a word. Oh, people don't like me, whatever. The guy then applies for a visa for 4 years in a row. His visa is denied. You never heard Roman saying, oh, this process is complicated or is silly and I cannot get to there. He comes to the United States. There's a very tragic event between Russia and Ukraine. Roman gets a lot of really hard messages for that topic. You never heard Roman saying, oh, he's complaining about anything. For the one time he points something out, the whole world is like, oh, Roman is whining. I mean, the guy is in another level. If he wanted to have whine about something, he would have one about, it was not even that. It was something else.
Right.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
I mean, when you're at the top, you do get the highest level of scrutiny. I mean, most of the time that Laura Horvath comes up in conversation, everyone wants to talk about the one thing she's bad at and not the thousands of things that she's good at.
I know. I mean, I think that the best ever games of bridge throwing was one of the last years as a team, and he kind of slipped jumping into the paddleboard, and the only thing that people remember is that Rich had a problem swimming or jumping into the paddleboard, and it's like the man just won the games with like 300 points or whatever the number is. I don't know, but yeah, I understand that those things call attention, but I just want to say that because Roman is not a complaining guy at all. On the contrary.
Facundo,
ready? Ready? I won't forget, Brian. Do you want to go? Go. I won't forget. Mine's going to be a bomb. Facundo might run away after this one.
Let's see.
Okay. Ready, Facundo?
I'm very ready.
Wait until an hour and 22 minutes to ask you this because I know this one could freak you out. Did Saxon and Brooke Wells leave Proven, or were they asked to leave Proven?
I mean, I don't know Brooke Wells. I don't have any contact with her.
Okay.
I can know. I think that Saxon thought that he needed something new.
There's in the Coffee Pods and Wads podcast with Shane Orr and I think it's Nick Johnston, the head coach over there, the CEO over there. There was a hint, an implication that the athletes that were leaving weren't able to fulfill the checklist of duties, responsibilities, level of commitment to the programming or to the organization that was required. They did take blame for it. They did say, hey, we should have been more upfront what we expected of them, and going forward, we're going to do that. But it almost hinted that Brooke and Saxon did not fulfill all the things. And I'll tell you in the most superficial sense, they didn't follow the diet, or they didn't do the cool down, or they weren't at the gym 3 days a week like they were supposed to. We don't know what it was, but there was some sort of hint that that they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that's why they got the results they did.
And the question is, where's the bomb for me?
Have you sensed any? I don't know if it's a presupposition. I'm just sniffing around, Judy.
No.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you keeping me true. Do you know of any of that? Has Saxon said, yeah, I didn't show up, or they told me, hey, you're not doing your job, you got to leave? Or have you heard any rumors about that?
Look, Saxon, and I think that Brooke too. I mean, I never worked with her, but this is we all know each other. I'll tell you about Saxon. Actually, he's one of the most responsible, athletes that I work with. I would not have started again working with him if I would know that he's a guy who will miss his warm-ups or what. On the contrary, he's a guy that, at least with me, he's a guy that is extremely pragmatic in his programming, and he's very clever in the way he does things. And these people have been around for many years. I mean, I would be surprised if Brooke Wells, who went to the games how many times, Brian? 8, 9, 10? 9?
I think it's 9.
9, and Saxon, who went 4 or 5 times, are people that don't behave properly. Otherwise, how would they manage to go to the games 9 times or 4 or 5 times? I mean, these are great athletes that also know very well what they are doing. Otherwise, how did they manage to go so far in
8
their
times,
careers?
excuse me.
8 times. So I don't know. I've never heard that from Saxons, and I really don't know about that. The only thing that I can say is that Saxon is an athlete. It's the kind of athlete that you want to work with. I was very happy when I worked with him, and I'm very happy to have the chance to work again with him. And if I will have the glimpse of him not being a responsible guy, I would say no. But because of the experience that I have with him, it's the complete opposite. But I don't know. I was not even proven. No, I cannot answer any more than that.
You can. Dig deep, Facundo.
Ask me and I'll answer you.
Dig deep, buddy. Okay,
you can ask.
So you in your assessment, Saxon's time was up there, but he was like, dear Shane and Nick, thank you for the year. I'm moving on. Not Shane and Nick being like, hey, I don't think this is a good fit. There's the door. Thank you for sweating here.
No, I think that, but the same way he did with me, which is a fair thing to do.
Right. Okay.
Have specific needs, and he told me back in the day, Facundo, I need to try something new, and so on. And we discussed it together, and maybe he had the same discussion with Shane and
have you ever fired an athlete, Facundo? Caleb, thank you for your. I can see Caleb in the back there. Caleb leaned in. He's like, oh.
I expressed that I was maybe not the best fit for that person.
Were you fighting with them? Were you fighting with them?
No. That I was not the right fit. I mean, that I would not be able to do something substantial with that athlete. So I said, maybe we are.
Was it a personal thing, or was it a training thing?
A personal thing.
No shit. Personal thing.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's not. I don't think that's surprising. Like, if you're gonna have a coach in this sport for a long time, you need to trust a person in addition to as a coach.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that I'm really bad at, but really, really bad, is I need to have a very specific bond with my athletes, and I need to feel, this emotional link with my athletes. And it's funny because I watched the other day the podcast of my great colleague Andre Udet that he did with you, and Andre is like, no, for me there's no bro, there's no nothing. I'm coach. Yeah. She's the name, and it works for him, and certainly it works very well because he's building great athletes. Yeah. For me, it's the complete opposite. I don't think that I could be creative, or I could, put the best of me if I don't have this emotional relation, this link bond with my athletes. I need to have that. And
someone else said you want to be. I don't know if it was Maxwell Hodge said it or someone said it, but it was crazy. It was talking about Noah. And it was basically saying, God, who was on the show who was talking about that? But since Noah wasn't fully in, the coach wasn't fully going to get in. And so what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say, and this is kind of a leap, but that you want an emotional intimacy and vulnerability with your athletes so that when you feel they're all in, you can feel that pressure too, that you're all in. You want that same pressure that they're feeling so that you will have that community. I mean, I want the people who are parenting my kids to feel that pressure. I get there 5 minutes before the class starts. I warm my kid up, and they've told me, yeah, we feel that shit from you. Like, we give your kids our best because we see you're giving your kids. You bring them clean, you bring them early, you stay late, you train them after. So you want to feel that. You want to feel their pressure. Is that it?
I don't know if I want to. I think that I don't work. I don't think that if I work, if I don't have it.
You're open to it. You're ready to cry and hurt, and you think it brings the best out of you, whether you want it or not. You think it brings the best out of you,
without any doubt. And it's funny when Roman went on this last event on the double the one leg double under event at the games. They asked me, the coaches, we are taken to an area where we can watch our athletes, just the heat where our athletes are competing, and I realized that I could not go out to see what was going to happen. I have the feeling that was going to be too harsh for me, and I felt in that moment that I needed to be somehow rational and strong for Roman, because there were many decisions that were needed still to be taken.
Right.
And but yes, I don't think that if I don't have this,
Did you go out there though? You went out there though.
No.
You didn't?
I know I couldn't, and I'm happy that I didn't, because I would have,
Facundo, I'm judging you. Facundo, if your dog is dying, do you not go in the back when they put the dog down and hold the dog?
Well, the difference is that Roman was not dying, was far from dying, was showing.
I understand. But there's these people who take their dog to the vet and have their dog put down, and they leave the room. I'm like, motherfucker, that was your dog for 15 years. Hold your dog.
It's the complete opposite.
Okay.
Actually, Roman was not dying. He was showing to the rest of the world that he was maybe a superhero with the performance he did. But there was one event to go, and we didn't know how would Roman come back out of that second event of the day. And everybody was very emotional. Everybody was, falling apart because, this dream of winning the CrossFit game was not going to happen.
He was losing it, watching it just like slip out of his hands. Yeah.
We knew it. But one of us, I felt, which is funny that was me in this case, because I'm certainly not that person, needed to stay rational for that one event that was still coming, and for whatever dialogue needed to happen just that last event. And I was happy that that I didn't. Yes, there are many superheroes.
But why? But why? Because you think that you would have been the weak emotional link for him. You didn't want him to see you cry.
I would have crumbled. I would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I would have.
But let me go back to the dog thing. If your dog needed to be put down, would you go in the back with the vet when they gave him the injection?
I had two dogs of mine that were put to sleep on my arms. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Okay. I'm letting you off this hook there. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And he had to stay in a very good frame of mind, because the advice to go into the final was just bike really slowly the whole time.
But and actually, Brian knows very well how much do I relate with my athletes. When we were in Spain, we were supposed to go to have dinner, and he was really hungry. Brian, he was like very moody. He hadn't eaten anything in like 15 hours. He was very complaining, very grumpy. And I still need to take care of Karen, who rented an apartment that she didn't like, so we need to change hotels. I think that's what coaches are also, not just the programming. And I'm happy to have the, this.
But that was actually ended up being great. We had a nice conversation with Karen in the car. I think I held it together okay.
At the beginning, when you thought that we need to do more errands, it was like, yeah.
Facundo, this athlete that you parted, and did you end up parting ways with this athlete?
Yeah. There were many. There was not just one. There were a couple. There was one that is rather famous, but it's not something bad. I mean, that person has shown that can work perfectly well with another coach. It's just like, for me, I didn't feel that I was going to be able to do my best.
Is it values? Is it values that are different between you and the athlete?
No. To be honest, it's mostly I'm very respectful to other people's life choices and whatever, as much as I ask and demand to be my choices and my laughter to be respected. I think for me in that case was a matter of moods and education and it's it, I felt that it was too rough for me as a relationship, and it wouldn't work.
Sorry, I have to tend to the flock for a minute. Judy,
It's fine.
Judy, listen, Judy. Judy, you know you've said something mean to me if David gives you affirmation for it. So please, this. When's the last time you called the cops, Facundo?
Oof. Like, oh no, 2 years, maybe 2-3 years.
What happened?
Yeah. So I was moving into my new house, and somebody parked on this on the space that was supposed to be for the moving truck, and so you call the police, and they get the car removed.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Good job, nice work.
Yeah.
Facundo, is your husband ever jealous of you? You're on the road a lot, and you're around beautiful people.
I can give you a very cheesy answer, but he's the most beautiful of them all, so no.
No shit, he is. Really? Is he really?
To
or
me,
you
at
just say
least.
that?
To me,
You
at
just-
least.
Okay, well that makes me think he's
Yeah.
not. That makes me think
Well,
he's
no,
not.
Oh, he's very good looking, but you know what?
Could he be in a magazine? Is he's fun to look at? Like you like looking
Yeah.
at him? If he's working out, you
Yeah.
watch him. You watch him move.
No, he hates when I see him. He does triathlon, and
Oh.
he doesn't take any tip, anything from me. He's like, let me do my stuff. Don't even.
No
you know,
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I tell you two things. On the one hand thing, the most important thing, I think he's for me the most intelligent person that I've ever met,
Mhm.
and it's always this level of admiration that I have for him that makes me like still very, very impressed and surprised that I'm married to this person, and he's a great father and a great partner. But we have a rower, a skier, a biker at home. We used to have an air runner. Can you believe that the guy goes, runs, bikes, and he doesn't even lift the monitor, so he doesn't know what he's doing. He just
Oh wow.
rows for 3 hours. And I said, "What did you do?" "Just row." "How long?" And I had to go back and see the log, to the memory, to see what he did.
I can't see the monitor on the air runner. I'm too short. The
Yeah.
assault one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
but
see it. I have to run fast and catch up to look.
no, but he's not jealous at all.
No. Does he approve what you're doing with your life? Is he okay with you like squandering these political aspirations to fool around with sweaty people in hillbilly country?
Look, yeah, it's a good question. I think so, because that allowed me to take a lot of time for dedicating to our kids. We have two girls and a dog. And my choice now allows me to spend most of the time with them when I'm here. So I bring them to school, pick them up, take them to the activities, and so I'm very happy with my choice, and I think he's very happy too.
Yeah, that's kind of would be my answer too. My wife's married to this fucking 51-year-old guy that's turned into like some sort of like YouTuber. And but I can spend time with the kids and the dog. So you're right. I think that's what, at the end of the day, that's what she cares about.
That's what counts. Yeah. That's
Well,
what
thank
counts.
you. Thank you. Anything you would like to add? Any stone unturned?
I don't know. I thought that Brian had a couple of questions for me, but
Okay,
I think
go ahead.
he
Mr.
didn't. He didn't dare.
Mr. Friend, the floor is yours.
Well, and the bomb was coming, so I was just step aside for a minute.
Yeah.
See how you handle that. But Facundo, what was the first year you coached an athlete as an individual, like one-on-one coaching them that went to the games?
Say that again. Sorry.
What year was the first year that you individually coached an athlete at the CrossFit Games?
It was Saxon Panchik in 2000. I don't remember the year now. 21, when he finished 5th at the games.
2000 what?
21.
That was the first
Individual
year you
athlete.
coached an athlete?
Individual athlete, yes. That make it to the games. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I thought for years you were an agent, and I could not get my head wrapped around that you were a coach. But now I can't even. Now, in the last 2 years, I don't know what happened, but somewhere you completely switched identities in my head. I realized, and now I can't even imagine you as an agent, and I only see you as a coach. It's weird.
Yeah,
Whatever it
no.
is, you did it.
I mean, I did work when I was going to the games as a coach. I was the coach of the Mayhem team, Rich's team, and of course, I was not programming. I was not telling Rich, hey, do 5 burpees and do 100 of landers to warm up. He knew it very well. But I think that Rich and me, we had an understanding, and whatever I was providing him, he needed, or it was good for him to have me around as a coach. And then the different opportunities open up, and then I started coaching athletes.
So so these last 2 or 3 years, when you're coaching some of the top 10 or 20 male and female athletes in the world, and the expectations to make it to the CrossFit Games, I think someone was asking about this an hour or so ago. Do you factor into that equation what you're expecting to be tested at the CrossFit Games, or is it more of just a broad preparation?
I think that coaches in the CrossFit world, we have, to a certain degree, the responsibility to understand the direction that the sport is going to. It has changed throughout the years. And if you see, Dave's Castro's classic programming, and then you see Bosman programming, and then you see last year, I think there's in the environment in our world, there's a lot of hints of what are we, going to be moving or leaning towards, and it's our responsibility to know that. That's what I said before, that I will not think that I have this curiosity if I don't feel that I want so much my athletes to do great.
So when you're thinking about, okay, we're 9-10 months out from the next year's CrossFit Games, I've got Lazar, I've got Roman, I've got Karen Frey, whoever these athletes are. Well, in some cases, like for Augustine, he's got to figure out semifinals first. He didn't make it this year, so he's got to figure out a way to get back to the game. So that might be a different challenge. But I'm talking about athletes that they're making it comfortably in the regions that they're qualifying through. When you look and you say, well, I don't know if Dave is programming the games, but he's clearly involved. Oh, they're moving to a new location. What do I know about that location? Are those things that even this far out, you're already thinking about when it comes to a 9-10 month run up?
No. At the moment, when I program for my athletes, I imagine, I think that we talk about it, I imagine Karen working at her gym in Slovakia, and whatever she's going through and whatever are the most important things that she needs to take care of before Rogue and before Dubai. And I program in this idea, her, what is she doing? How is she feeling? What are her needs? And I think that because of this emotional bond that I have, I understand, I wish that I tend to want to understand what the athletes are going through. And I think that if I understand that, I might be able to take the best out of them, instead of imposing myself, oh, this is what you need to do because this is the last word and this is the programming and give me a good result here. Did that answer your question, or was
it? Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you.
I imagine Roman arriving at 8:30. I imagine Lazar. I love Lazar much more than he loves me. That's for sure. Just want to say it because I'm going to make a clip out of this and send it to him. But I imagine them all, and I imagine what they're going through, and that's the way that I program now, leading into Rogue.
Thank you, both of you. Great show.
Thank you, guys.
Better than I imagined. I thought it was going to be a 10. It ended up being a 12. I say that with all humility. No humility, with complete pride.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Talk to you soon. Safe travels to will you go straight to Austin from wherever you're at, Brussels or
I'm going
Moscow
to
or wherever you're at?
Austin and then Santiago de Chile, and then Argentina, Uruguay.
Oh, cool. No, I didn't hear Cookville in there.
And no, Cookville is going to wait a little bit.
All right, brother. Oh, look, 12 out of 10. There you go. See, even Audrey agrees.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was 12 out of 10. Thank you, brother. I will talk to you soon. Thanks, Facundo. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Adios, Facundo. Mr. Friend, thank you. Always great having you here, buddy.
Okay, what's up, Caleb?
Very, very, very honest show with Mr. Facundo.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Talk to you soon?
Definitely.
All right, brother. Have a good day. Peace. And then there were two. Audrey, don't send Brian away. Surprise, surprise. I'd have never thought you'd have said that. Surprise, surprise. All right, Brian Friend Part 2, go. Listen, someone in here wrote, someone in here wrote, hey, you should do a show every month with Facundo and Brian. Listen, someone says that about every show. We have 75 of those. We would just never get anyone new in here. I appreciate it. I think I just take it as a compliment. Oh, yes. Elise, Miss Ridow. I heard there's a Shadican YouTube page. Can I see that?
Yeah, that's my YouTube page, but
wow. Dude, this could be brilliant. Someone said it's really funny. Someone told me it's funny. Are you using skincare products? Why do you have the smooth feature on your what the fuck's going on with you?
no, just good lighting. Good lighting.
Oh yeah, you don't even look real. You look like a porcelain doll today for some reason. 3 a days. Let's go, Sebi. I have joined it. Oh, good. I'm about to join it too. As soon as I see what's the name of it.
It's my YouTube channel, just Caleb Beaver. And then this is my first. This is part 1. The
Is it funny?
I don't know.
Oh shit! This is
reality.
Awesome. Wow. Hey, that looks better than it looks better on YouTube than on your It looks better. Yeah, than on Instagram. Wow, this is look. You already got an assault bike in the kitchen.
Yeah. All my so what happened yesterday is the first time it rained in months here, and it decided to like absolutely downpour. And we had expected there to be like some leaking in that. There's like a center portion where they like made a roof and a room and shit. Well, the
like an add-on.
Well, so there's 2 buildings. There's like a garage, and then there's like the main building, and they're the same width and same like length and shit. And but they made a ceiling, like a roof between the 2 buildings.
Closed it. They connected
Closed it.
like
Correct.
the way a little kid makes a fort, like throws a blanket over 2 set couches and between them is the fort.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
All right.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a leak in there, like no problem." And this was before it started raining. So we come back, and this is literally my first day ever working on the house, like seeing it. I saw it on Sunday for the first time, actually walking inside of it. Never actually been inside the property because the previous owner would never let anybody in there. Now we understand why.
You bought the place unseen.
Yeah, like we had set foot on the property. Like he let us like look around and kind of like see the outside, but he never let us inside once until we bought it.
That's amazing.
It's absolutely stupid. But it's yesterday it rained. Like
what if there were dead people in there and shit? Like
dude, I'm terrified that as soon as I open a drawer, something's gonna jump out at me, or like something's dead in there. Like,
okay,
I'm telling you, I'm like looking for it. I'm waiting to find something dead.
Yeah.
And rained like crazy yesterday.
Like a drawer full of teeth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
you know what I mean? Like
just
or teeth, like someone's hand somewhere, like under a floorboard.
Yes. So many nail clippers, so many pairs of glasses, just like random shit. I found a box full of door hinges, just random, just so nonsensical.
Okay.
But rains a bunch yesterday, and I had left all of my like workout equipment in that center space because I was like, fuck it, like it's already outdoors anyway, so it wouldn't be bad, like it'll stay dry or whatever. We show up yesterday afternoon after the show, and it's like a torrential downpour in that section. So if you look on the right of this video, like this is that it's just like sagging roof, like you said, is if you were going to like make a blanket fort.
Oh shit. That's not a leak, dude.
Yeah, I know.
So do you climb up there and divert that onto the roof? And look at that bucket. That bucket's ridiculous, dude. Dude, you have to get something that leads the water outside, like a culvert. You have to you can get those at Home Depot, I think.
Yeah. So
sorry, I don't mean to tell you how to do your shit.
No, it's cool. Basically what's going to happen is that whole section is going to get demolished because
Uh-huh.
it's an add-on. It doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna demolish the whole thing. But
So that'll
I
be
have to
outside again. You'll convert that
right,
back to outdoor space.
right. But so that we found that out,
Wow.
and my mom and I had to pick up all of the workout equipment and move it back into the main room. So that was like a task yesterday before I could even start cleaning. Yeah.
Does it come with a pit, a rope, and a basket of lotion?
No, but I did find a pair of handcuffs attached to a pipe in the back, like over a doorway. And
Wow.
I don't know what it was for.
I know what it was for.
Yeah, you
You mean
kind of
so
have
like you could have someone like this?
yes, yeah.
Hey, you gave me this crazy idea. I probably shouldn't share this on the air, but I'm thinking about maybe having like a bucket that I always cut my fingernails over for the rest of my life and fill a whole bucket full of fingernail clippings.
You know, I did
That
something
would be fucking amazing.
I tried to fill like a big cup with sunflower seeds one day and my mouth was raw. That's what that reminds me of. I was just like, I would just keep it. I just carried it around with me. So I was just spitting in this cup for like a whole day.
Every time I go to the beach, I eat so many salted sunflower seeds that the next day I feel like I sucked the wrong dick the night before. Like my mouth is so sore. It's crazy.
You
It's
do
like
the
my
same
mouth.
thing with your fingernails.
It gets a sunflower venereal disease. Sevan, this is why Dave never comes over. No. I can tell you, Dave comes to my house more than any other house he's ever been to besides his own. Not that he's here very often, but
Perhaps
yeah.
else.
I wonder how many people are gonna buy. I bet you there are seriously some people buy their own Shadikins because of this. This is gonna be quite the inspirational story. How often are you gonna publish to here?
Anytime that I go over there, I'm gonna film it and post something. Basically, probably it'll be just about every day.
You should also do shorts that show things like the handcuffs.
Yeah, no, I will. All the like
Yeah.
weird knick-knacky stuff. I'm gonna post stuff about it.
You know you can do that. Just film on your phone, just straight like Instagram. You can just do shorts.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start
YouTube.
doing that.
Yeah, get the YouTube studio. It's awesome. I used to do that with capable children. Mike McCaskey. Sevan, how does Sevan know what a mouth feels like after sucking a dick? You know. You know. All right. I wonder if Alexis Raptis is coming on tomorrow.
I mean, she's got colitis. She's not on her
Dead.
deathbed.
I hate that the name of that illness, colitis.
I think it's technically. I mean, the name is Crohn's disease, but colitis is like more technical.
It bummed me out that she got it in 2018. Now I can't blame the vaccine.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh,
Fucking so bums me out.
People are already saying it in the comments. I was like, well, when it happened in 2018.
Are you going to turn your phone off at 11 a.m. today, 20 minutes prior to the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, and I don't understand the outrage because I mean we were getting them anyway. Like how many national alerts
we were getting Amber Alerts.
Yeah, Amber Alerts, national weather emergencies, all that shit.
Holy shit! Look at that lady's hair. Wow.
Damn.
Steph, Derek, I've asked Derek to come on so many times. He's so nice to me in the DMs, but kind of like he avoids I'll try. I'll try to bug him again. I'll bug him again. Right? That's the one-legged guy covered in tats, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, this is a good. Mike McCaskey said, and yeah, there were human bones nearby. There were actually bones like in the front yard. I don't know exactly. Like, you know how you can tell the difference between like fake bones and real bones?
No, I don't know.
Well, fake ones are usually like plasticky or like they're not very strong. Well, I found like I think it's like a clavicle. Like it could be an animal's clavicle, but it's definitely a real bone.
It's a real human bone. Hold on. Hey, you know what's fucked up? I just went to my DMs with him and he had responded, yes. When are you thinking? Fuck. Sorry. I just found this DM. Fuck. I lose. Oh, and thank you. Fuck. Damn. Okay. Sorry, Steph. Damn, I was blaming him and it's on me. Isn't that normally how it goes? Shit. Yes, you're welcome. Okay. Caleb, he's not listening. I kind of was. I heard clavicle.
It's more for everybody else to listen to anyway.
Yeah, clavicle. So was it a human clavicle?
I don't know yet. I'm thinking it's probably like a deer or something.
I love it when Caleb talks and Sebi drifts off. No, I wasn't. That's not. Don't make it sound like it's some sort of like normal thing.
I'm not having a conversation with him. I'm having a conversation with all of you.
What'd you say? No. Just kidding. Hey, did you see this guy, the social justice warrior who got killed in New York City yesterday?
No.
I probably shouldn't play the video. I'll probably get in trouble. His name's Ryan Carson. He was out with his girlfriend. And he's on the streets of New York, dressed in a suit. They're out on a date. You know, if you dig full-blown social justice warrior, you know, if you dig into his shit, you're going to see all sorts of stuff that's just crazy fucked up shit he did. Like he's the epitome of one of those guys that claims to like marginalized people, but has just got his foot right on their neck, keeping them down. Just like his whole existence is based on other people demanding that they be the victim. And he just got he's just minding his own business. And a fucking zombie stabs him in the fucking neck right in front of his bitch. His bitch doesn't do shit. His bitch doesn't do shit. She could have saved his life. I would go as far as to say, oh, he's a for sure defund the police guy. His bitch could have saved his life.
He didn't.
And didn't. His bitch could have easily saved his life.
What, just push him out of the way or something?
Anything, man. Anything. It's such fucking bullshit. It's so fucking sad what happens to him. It's so sad. It's so unnecessary. The dude just stabs him for no reason. He's just sitting down minding his own business. Dude comes over, complete fucking wackadoodle.
Because what are they going to do to him?
They haven't even caught the dude.
Exactly.
They're not going to catch the dude. It's reparations. Call her hi.
They were waiting for a bus after a wedding. That's why he was all dressed up in it. And what the crazy thing is, the mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams, is going to Mexico. Guess what? He's going to talk to the officials to stop the migrants from coming to his city. The same city that he was requesting all these migrants to come. Welcomed them with open arms. Now he's telling them to stop coming. Can you imagine?
How is anyone still voting Democrat? Hey, I really hope this dude, Ryan Carson, I hope his parents are like, fuck this, Trump 2024.
Me too.
Trump's an asshole. Okay. Trump did the lockdowns. Okay. Trump brought the vaccines. Okay. I hate him. He's an asshole. Okay. But the other team's pedophiles and lets people get killed and is 100% just racist. All right, Trump 2024. I mean, dude, I just can't. I just can't even fucking believe how slow people are to the fucking trigger. What is it gonna take? Do you need one of your kids fucking killed to fucking start voting right?
That's the only reason why you vote a certain way. It's for your kids, not about you.
Right.
I'm going to be 50 years old. I'm done. Like,
right.
I can live with my life. It's for my kids.
Right. Man, so sad. Yeah, that guy was completely minding his own business. That psychopath walked by him and then came back and fucking stabbed him. And what the fuck was his girl doing?
I mean, what are the police going to do? They can't, like, they're not going to get there in time.
Oh, it's so sad.
They'll get that guy though. They'll get that guy.
Hey, here's the thing though. That guy got that guy like manifested that. You know? That's his
The best thing.
that's his world. That's the world he wanted. I bet you, hey, listen, Jethro, I bet you some of the people in that guy's life are like going to be like, hey, let's not prosecute this guy. It's not what Ryan Carson wanted. You know that's become like a trendy thing. When social justice warriors get murdered, they don't even give a fuck the fact that guy might murder someone else. By the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's completely unprovoked murder. This is just some tall fucking, I don't know. He's got the Jew fro. He's got a suit on. He's minding his own business. He's a big dude too. That dude's a big dude.
Doesn't matter how big you are. You know the deal. They're crazy. They have that crazy strength.
Yeah.
They have that crazy mentality.
Hey,
not stopping that.
And I'm willing to bet 51% of my life's earnings that guy who killed him because he was white. That dude was not going to do that. That dude was not going to do that to a black guy.
There were racial slurs the other way going to that guy, I'm sure.
It's fucking nuts. Not that I care, by the way. Not that I care. Don't get that twisted. But I'm just saying, for those who do care, I guarantee you that wouldn't have mattered if that was a black if that was a black dude and a black girl, they would not have got killed. And if it was a black girl, she probably would have fucked that dude up.
I saw it on DC Drano. It was on his post that I saw it.
Yeah, he's the only fucking dude posting it. He's the only dude with the balls to post it.
It's kind of right. The best thing you can do in that situation, unless you are proficient in some type of jujitsu or you have a gun, the best thing to do is walk away from that guy. And the guy might have been trying to protect this girl and maybe get a couple of drinks at the wedding, waiting for the bus, but he just walked away from that guy. That guy would have left him alone. But he got in his face and he got stabbed and killed. Sucks.
It looks like his girlfriend's even crying. So that guy walks by them. Oh yeah, it looked like she was crying. I don't know if they're waiting for the bus. They left those benches. Oh, that guy kicks over. Oh, that guy's losing his mind. Okay, so he's a wackadoodle. You can see him at the end of the street. I hadn't seen this before. Start kicking over trash can. Like at that point, they should have turned around and walked the other way.
Get up, go across the street.
Cross the street. That's right.
Oh, but if you cross the street when there's a black man kicking over trash cans, you're racist. Go fuck your. Well, you're fucking dead. No, you're fucking dead.
I'm Puerto Rican. I'm sorry. When if I'm in Harlem in New York and there's some Spanish dudes walking towards me, I go across the street.
Listen,
I don't give a fuck.
And yeah, anyone fucking who looks fucking to me thuggish by my discernment. If you start kicking over trash cans, I'm crossing the street. I don't give a fuck if you're Chinese, I'm crossing. If you're a dwarf, I'm crossing. Holy shit. You know all this dwarf talk I've been doing since we've had Tim Murray on? I've been just talking about dwarfs more. I saw a dwarf yesterday. I manifested that shit. I saw my first dwarf ever in Santa Cruz. I think it was a kid. He came out of Kumon. I was there with my kids. My son goes,
did you talk to him?
No, I was already in my car when I saw him. My son goes, hey, that kid's shorter than me. I was like, yeah, I know.
That guy's older than me.
I'm like, look, his forearms and hands are bigger than yours too. He goes, yeah, that's weird.
That's weird.
He goes, he's short. I'm like, yeah, I know. I could see.
I posted before on Tater Tots videos and stuff. Like that guy, Mikey Swoosh wishes he was that guy so bad.
Yeah.
After everything that happens, Mikey Swoosh talks the talk that Tater Tots does. It's crazy.
I liked it. Yeah, come in. What? What? Hey, if you're going to shoot guns, you got to put the dog away. All right. Oh, yeah, I just played it without look at. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at. How come she's not calling 911? She doesn't know?
Somebody comes up and asks if they need help, and then she tells them to go grab the guy.
What a mess. Shit, I missed the whole thing because I was looking in the yard.
Hey, this is a great example. This is a great example. Is if you do any type of crazy workouts, any type of stuff that you put yourself in pain, you got to be in these situations where your heart's racing. You got to calm down. You got to get yourself situated. Situational awareness. If you don't put yourself in that type of situation ever, of you don't know what to do, you're gonna freeze. That's exactly what she did.
Hey, and so what's crazy is, if he'd had a gun, that guy, if he'd had a gun and shot that guy, he'd be in big trouble. It would have turned into like some like fucking Ferguson. What's that thing? What happened? George Floyd.
He'd been in cuffs the next day. They arrested the bodega shopper for stabbing the guy to death after he freaking almost killed him.
Fucking
It was
nuts.
the outcry of the community for once that got him off.
That guy's still on the street, and this Ryan Carson dude is dead. I couldn't find this dude's Instagram. I wanted to find it. Ryan Carson Instagram. I wanted to find his Instagram. Everyone I found went to the wrong Ryan Carson. Someone was complaining that my Jew voice and my woke voice are the same, and that's not cool. I apologize. Are you looking for it too, Caleb? His Instagram?
Yeah, I just found like pictures of him.
Man, there's some weird looking Ryan Carsons. There's a shitload of Ryan Carsons. Maybe Ryan Carson, should I put social justice warrior? Oh, activist, Instagram. Oh, okay. Okay. Did I find it? Oh. That was at 4 a.m. Hey, on Malcolm X Boulevard.
Why the fuck didn't they take an Uber? Who waits for the bus at 4 a.m. anymore?
Hey, I know people are like, there's no honor in teasing the making fun of the dead, but look at there it is, the insane haircut. You see it? The asymmetrical haircut. There it is. Let me tell you the two. If you have an asymmetrical haircut, you probably have a mental disorder, and if you rock the Hitler mustache, probably something's wrong with you too. Those are two. You take those to the bank. You got the little fucking. Oh, does he type Ryan Carson, she, her? Oh shit, that's fucking brutal. But I'm gonna do it. Ryan Carson, he, him. God, I'm dying to see this dude's Instagram.
It's crazy how all the news outlets call him a social justice warrior advocate.
Yeah. They're just like it's something to be proud of. It's like, no, dude, it's what got you fucking killed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for calling, brother. Thank you.
Hey guys, all right, Caleb, good luck with the house, man.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate
more
it.
than luck. Send him money.
Later.
That shit ain't gonna get fixed with luck. That needs a big stag of cash.
Oh shit.
For those of you who are offended in the, but I'm going to use just the Hiller thing. If anything, if you've ever been the target of Andrew Hiller's target of his attention, this guy, this is probably good for Swoosh and Sporty Beth and just anyone like that. Like, look at this guy has completely leaned into and embraced his situation. This is, I can't tell you how brilliant this is. This is so brilliant. By the way, did you see Facundo? I don't think Facundo was, I think, maybe offended for
Roman
Guy when I brought up the cheeses thing, but I don't think, but Guy thought it was funny, right?
I think so.
That didn't translate well. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Over here. See that? That's amazing, isn't it?
That's pretty funny.
God, that's so good. just has fully accepted his situation and just making the best of it.
I would expect him to throw a crutch. Just like swing one at you.
I just love how everyone I mean, I'd react too like that. Crazy, right? Because you just everyone has a leg. It's fucking amazing. God, this is so amazing. Hey, like if I was a dwarf, like I would just spend days going out making content, being like, "Excuse me, what did you say about my height?" Just randos. You know what I mean? Like,
Go up to somebody, like tug their shirt, be like, "Dad."
yeah, all the weirdest shit you can think of. CK Kevin Sevan would have fallen down. I'd have called the cops on that fucking dude. This fucking one-legged dude out of here. Chris Beasterfield, the invisible dick kick. Oh my God. That's so good. Hey, he's just fully leaned into it. There's a huge lesson there. Everyone, just lean into it.
For sure.
I want to see Tia just have Photoshop like needles hanging out of her stomach. Like 30 of them. Be like, here you go, Hiller. Is this what you're looking for?
I feel like Liver King did that for a time, and then everybody realized he was actually juicing.
That's a good point. Boy, he does not. I actually probably should reach out to him. Have you seen him?
Yes, I have.
It's not good, dude.
No. I don't think he's backed off on his
It's not that I'm tripping on so much. He just doesn't look one of his account. Yeah. Go to right there with he's feeding the dog. Does he have his eye patch off now? Is that
Yeah, he does there.
Wow, that is a shitload of meat. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. Looks so good.
He doesn't look like he's sleeping well. He just looks like he ate something happened to him.
It looks like he has less energy. Like he looks tired.
Yeah, what? Look, oh, you're looking at a different one than me. Did you look at the one where he's feeding the dogs at the table already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at his face.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Well, he looks good in the next post. Look at the next post. I don't think he should wear red ever.
No? Why not?
Look at the one with the cartoon. It just doesn't look good on him. It makes him look tired and old.
Who has an Xbox 360 anymore?
Not him. Oh, that looks like someone we know. You know who I was thinking?
No, I was thinking in my head is like, that's somebody knows that person. They're just blasting him for eating burgers.
I should tell you. I should post it in the private chat. God, that looks just like someone we know. He looks yoked.
Yeah,
Yoked out of his mind. He's Zeus. Okay.
Yeah, he's yoked.
All right. Well, I hope he gets better. Whatever's going on.
I hope he gets through whatever he's getting through. It's mental struggles.
Oh, I'm gonna send you. Should I send? I'll just play it. Sorry, I didn't send you the notes. 144. Look at this. This is. Did you see this thing with Aaron Rodgers?
Crazy impact game. Obviously, he had some yards and stuff, but I felt like for the most part, we played really tough on defense, especially the last 3 quarters, and didn't have a crazy.
So the guy in the middle is Aaron Rodgers. He's a NFL quarterback, and he's claim to fame. I mean, he's a great quarterback, but also he didn't take the jab, and he pushed back heavy on it. And I guess he's a regular on this show, this Pat McAfee show. And he's talking about our. Say that again.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. What did I call him? McAfee.
Okay.
McAfee. Yeah. If I knew how to read, I'd say it right. McAfee. Pat McAfee. I said it right? McAfee?
Sure. Yep, that's better.
And is that a button-up tank top that guy's wearing? What the fuck is that guy wearing? Anyway, I guess this guy, Aaron Rodgers, comes on Pat's show a lot, which is cool, and Pat lets him fucking go nuts on it, right? Is this an ESPN property now? This Pat McAfee is. And so,
sure.
Look, it says ESPN down there. And I think I saw something that's it's coming together now. I think this guy maybe sold his show to ESPN for like $150 million or something. This is a big show, right? This McAfee show.
It's pretty big, yeah.
And do you guys remember the guy we covered, Travis Kelce? He was the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was dating Taylor Swift, and he sold out and did that commercial that to take the injection, right?
Right.
He's like, do the twofer. Yes, this was on ESPN's main channel. Yeah, this is crazy. Thanks, Will. Look at Will gets a camera, and all of a sudden his profile picture is him as a fucking cinematographer. Too soon, Will. Too soon. No, I'm joking. Go for it. Okay, listen. So basically, listen what he says here. He calls Travis Kelce Mr. Injection or Mr. Pfizer.
Crazy game, and Mr. Pfizer, we kind of shut him down a little bit. He didn't have his like crazy.
So Aaron Rodgers' team, I guess, played that guy Travis Kelce's team, and he refers to him as Mr. Pfizer.
The impact game. Obviously, he had some yards and stuff, but I felt like for the most part, we played really tough on defense, especially the last 3 quarters, and didn't have a crazy game. And Mr. Pfizer, we kind of shut him down a little bit. He didn't have his like
Mr.
crazy.
Pfizer. God, Aaron Rodgers is a stud, right? Just calling
So
that
good.
dude out like a bitch.
So
But
good.
and what he so then later on I think in that same show, I have the clip here. They ask Aaron, they said, well, you spoke to him at the games. Aaron, you spoke to Travis at the games. What did you say to him? And so here's that clip.
Talk to Mr. Pfizer. You talked to Travis. What were you talking about here? Were you talking about different vax and what's potentially the one for you?
I think some things need to be left on the field.
You did talk to Mr. Pfizer. You talked to Travis. What were you talking about here? Were you talking about different vax and what's potentially the one for you?
I think some things need to be left on the field.
God, what do you see there in that communication? Hey, is that guy with the hat on backwards walking away because he's uncomfortable?
You did talk to Mr. Pfizer. You talked to Travis. What were you talking about here? Were you talking about different vax?
No,
What's
I think
potentially?
that's the O-line coach.
The offensive line coach?
Yeah, I think he's probably just helping prep for the game or something. I don't think
And
he's
that
in on
guy-
that conversation.
And that guy, McAfee, calls him Mr. Pfizer too. Shit,
double
that
down
dude's
on it.
getting ass pounded.
That's
Travis,
awesome.
look at this asymmetric ears. Travis Fauci. Wow.
That's fucking awesome.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Love it.
I love it too. Did Aaron Rodgers used to have long hair? I remember him as having long hair, and now all of a sudden, okay, so that's
Yeah,
he looks like Sam Elliott now or something.
Yeah, I think when he was retired or not in the NFL anymore, he just grew it out a bunch. And then when he got the contract with the Jets, he cut it off
Oh,
during preseason or something.
and now he's injured. He is not playing.
Yeah.
Brandon Waddell, the man who gifted me the 2 Travis Bagent cards, he had to explain to me how to say his own name. So I used to call him Brandon Waddle, and he's like, no, it's Waddell. Sevan, it's McAfee. McAfee. Isn't that like some software software
computer
protection?
security stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see a crazy documentary, watch the documentary about McAfee, the guy who invented security software for PCs and shit. McAfee. Did you ever see that documentary?
No, what's it called?
I can't
Gringo?
remember. You found it?
It's called Running with the Devil
Maybe.
or Gringo: The Dangerous Life of John McAfee.
Yep. Maybe that sounds right too. The McAfee antivirus software, of course, Jeff knows. Yeah. I don't know if that still happens anymore, but it used to be like, I haven't used a PC in years, but it used to be you open a PC and just fucking Windows would be popping up everywhere, invading your shit. Exposes millionaire John McAfee's escape from law. Dude, I don't know if he was a millionaire. This fucking guy may have been a billionaire, but I think he ran off to Belize in the movie. The movie takes the craziest twist at the end. Crazy. But basically, he kills some people, his neighbors or something, or he's accused of it. But he's got this huge harem. And in the documentary, they're interviewing the chicks in the harem. And the chicks say that they don't have sex with him or have any sexual, like, they don't do any of that. But he's got all these chicks. And you think that for the whole movie, that he's just slaying all this beaver. And then you find out, you ready for this? God, this is fucking disgusting. Mom, if you're listening, you should turn this part of the show off. What he does with the girls is he puts them in a hammock and cuts a hole in the hammock and they shit in his mouth. I'm serious. You wait the whole movie and that's the climax. He's not boning the chicks. I'm like, what? He's not boning the chicks. Oh, he was on Pedo Island too?
What the fuck?
God. Hey, I saw a great meme the other day. How come there's all this shit coming out about Russell Brand, but we still don't know what the fuck's going on Epstein Island? Yeah. Once again, like, I don't care. I don't care about Louis C.K. asking girls if he can masturbate to them in the locker room. I don't care about Russell Brand talking dirty to girls. Until there has to be a hierarchy to this shit until we know what's going on in Epstein's Island. Daniel Garrity cuts his fingernails and stores them in a bucket. If you put it like that. Man. All right. Did you hear about the Democrat who pulled the fire alarm to stop the vote? Oh, this is nuts too. Look at this guy, this fucking idiot. This is fucking just so they were voting yesterday on they got rid of the McCarthy, the Senate Majority Leader. Is the Senate Majority Leader? Is that who it is?
Sure. Okay.
The wildest thing to happen on Capitol Hill this past weekend, besides the potential shutdown of the federal government, was when Representative Jamal Bowman, Democrat, set off a minor panic by pulling the fire alarm in the House office building on Saturday. In the days since, Republicans accused a Democrat from New York of deliberately trying to postpone a vote that saw Democrats effectively bail out Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Bowman's side, in turn, has issued multiple statements trying to defend why he quite deliberately tried to access a set of doors marked as an emergency exit. The saga began on Saturday afternoon when Brian Steele, the chair of the House Administrative Committee, announced in a statement that Bowman pulled an alarm in the Cannon office building, and the U.S. Capitol Police said was investigating the matter, which led to officers to evacuate the building and saw the D.C. fire and emergency medical units respond. This guy Bowman, it's saying he didn't realize he would trigger the building's alarm. Look here's the door. Here's the door he left out of. It has 3 signs that say emergency exit all over it. It says push until alarm sounds. Oh, so it is an alarm. Like it says, it's not even don't push. It's not even don't push alarm will sound. It's push until alarm sounds.
So he pulls the alarm and then he goes out the door that sets off the the rest of the alarm or the
I'm
alarm.
not sure. That's a great question.
Stupid.
Wow. Congressman Jamal Bowman, humbled to. Oh, he's humbled. This dude's humbled. Oh,
Really?
you can't see it. Yeah. Hold on. Let me
Humbled,
see this.
huh?
I clicked his name. This dude's humbled. That word's forever destroyed. Hey, I've been saying on this show forever, people are like, I'm so humble at the success I've had. Let me tell you, every morning I wake up and I see you guys in the chat just fucking raging. I'm like, I'm so proud. There's zero humility coming from me regarding that. So proud of the hard work I've put in and the friends I've cultivated and this party we have every morning. Proud. PROUD. Congressman Jamal Bowman, humbled to serve New York's 16th congressional district, providing updates on service and legislation. I don't trust someone when they smile and their eyes closed, unless they're Asian. Today I vote. This is 18 hours ago. Today I voted in favor of the motion to vacate the chair, effectively removing Congressman Kevin McCarthy from position as Speaker of the House. And I also pulled the alarm on the House floor, the fire alarm. Wow. And then right after he pulled the alarm, he accused someone of being a Nazi. And now he's apologizing for that. But he clearly was calling the person a Nazi to spread the to deflect, right? He was accused of pulling a fire alarm, and then he's like, that person's a Nazi over there. And then he got in trouble for calling someone a Nazi, so he's just like deflecting like a motherfucker. Has chick. Bowman was a school principal. He knows what an alarm looks like. Yeah, fully. I mean, Audrey, I smile so big my eyes close. Well, keep them fucking open.
Just can't help it. Just so big.
Jay Wick, Humbledore. Wow, that's good. I don't even like Harry Potter.
Harry Berry's Estes.
I want to see where he called Bowman Nazi. I want to see what he did, what his Nazi move was. Republican. Oh, here we go. God bless Fox News. Republican Bowman mocked for statement condemning Nazi fire alarm messaging guidance from his own office. Republican Jamal Bowman, Democrat, was called out again on Monday for a statement he issued condemning his office's messaging guidance on him pulling the fire alarm, which referred to his Republican colleagues as Nazis. Oh, shit. Bowman's office circulated a memo to its Democratic colleagues on Monday urging them to defend him publicly. Oh, shit. He was asking for his colleagues to defend him, with suggested arguments as Republicans continue to demand his expulsion from Congress over the incident. One proposed talking point in the memo titled Messaging Guidance Supporting Congressman Jamal Bowman After the Accidental Fire Alarm Targeted Nazi Members of the GOP. Don't forget, also yesterday, some lady was appointed to Dianne Feinstein's seat in the Senate by Gavin Newsom because of her, for three reasons: because of her skin color, because of her genitalia, and because of the genitalia she wants rubbed in her face. And she's not even a California resident. It's absolutely nuts. AOC was all over the airways defending him. Wow. Amazing. All right. Bizarro world. I wonder who's going to replace McCarthy. What are they going to do?
I don't know. My mom was talking about that yesterday.
What did she say? What does she think is going to happen?
She just thought it was crazy that they already kicked him out.
Yeah, it is crazy. Oh, this is awesome. Wesley Hunt from Texas. This guy's mocking him. Bowman. He says, Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm in a government building because we're Nazis. Says the congressman from Texas, a father, husband, Army veteran, Wesley Hunt. What's his name? Musk is full fucking bore, cracking jokes about the injection again too. Full speed ahead, just destroying fucking the CDC, Fauci, everyone. He's awesome. Oh, is Jim Jordan running for speaker? That would be amazing. He should be our fucking president, to tell you the truth. I used to not like Jim Jordan. I love him now. Jim Jordan. News. If that's true, that's crazy. Jim Jordan says he's running to replace McCarthy. Wow. If you guys don't know who he is, he's sharp as a fucking tack, this guy. Wow. Jake Chapman, Sevi. Come on, man. I don't know Phil McCunt, but I know Use a Cunt, his uncle. I don't know if I'd call that a comb over. You call that a comb over? Oh, wow, Judy Reed, listen to this. We purposely bought our house in Indiana. Oh, no. We purposely bought our house to be in Jim Jordan's district. What district is that? Let me see his wiki page. Oh. Republican firebrand, the 4th district. What the fuck is the 4th district? The fuck do I know what the 4th is? Ohio. He's in Ohio in the 4th district. Oh, okay. I can see on the map. You guys want to see where it is? Anyone want to move there? Here we go. I'll show you guys. Wow. That's crazy. You moved there just to be in his district. That's cool. It's basically everything out north of Columbus and Dayton. What a beast. Did we talk to someone yesterday who was in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Who is in Fort Wayne? Oh, Brian. Was Brian in Fort Wayne? Did I lose Caleb? Hi, Caleb. My daughter's school has 0 woke stuff. That's amazing. Carl Kaplan. So the guy that calls someone a Nazi votes in favor of sending endless billions to Nazis in Ukraine. Yep. I know. Bizarro world again. Oh, you're in Trinidad? Why do I always forget that? I cannot keep up with U.S. politics. In Trinidad, we have 2 parties based on race, African and Indian. Votes depend on which race votes more that year. Yeah, I think that shit's changing here. I think that shit's changing here. I don't know. Vindicate. Sevan, how was the one day with no podcast? I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
No, with no cast.
Oh, like my kids cast? Oh, awesome. Dude, awesome. I can tell though, that kid is my most formidable kid. Like that kid's a savage. And Super high pain threshold, very aggressive, wins all the golds at all the jiu-jitsu tournaments. Just does what needs to get done. And I could tell he had his cast off, and he's going through some shit. He's just not himself yet. He's like, I mean, I don't think anyone else would tell, but my wife texts me, she goes, how is Ari? He doesn't seem like himself. I'm like, no, he's definitely not himself. He's got a boot on for another 2 weeks, and then he'll be back in the game. Back in the game. He said something that was kind of sad. He goes, my leg looks skinny, and I felt bad for him because he's already skinny as shit. Oh, dude, this kid's so savage. And what's funny is he's the one you see least on my Instagram. Avi's chill. Mr. Birchfield. Avi's pretty like chill. This kid is a wrecking ball. Yeah, he like Avi will do a skateboard trick like 20 times while trying to learn the trick, also making sure he doesn't crash. And Ari's the kid that's like, hey, if crashing's part of the game. Well, that's why he fucking has a broken shin. So fruit basket. No, thank you though, Eric. It's very kind of you. All right, guys. Happy birthday, Judy. Oh, yesterday was Avi's birthday. He turned 9. Big boy.
Happy birthday.
Is today Thursday? No, today's Wednesday.
Wednesday, yep.
I'm in this trash predicament at my house where I have so much cardboard that like the day because we have recycling cans here in California, so every Wednesday they pick up the trash, and then like I'm gonna spend the next 2 hours like doing everything I can, or probably 2 hours is wrong, 30 minutes filling my recycling can because I have just stacks of cardboard on the side of my house. So that's what I'm gonna do. Tomorrow morning, Alexis Raptis. We'll find out about her colitis. Then J.R. Howell and Taylor Self have a show. Oh, it looks like it moved to 10:30. Did you know that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
That's no.
No,
I guess yeah is no.
Well, I looked at it, and that's what I saw yesterday too. I saw it was at 12:30
so
our
as
time.
so as of yesterday, you know, fine. Yeah, that works then. I apologize. I was too judgmental. I guess yeah, it worked. And then Friday, Travis Mayer, Devin Kim. Oh, I want to apologize. I haven't seen this yet. I'll talk about this on the CrossFit Games Update show on Friday. Oh, we don't have the CrossFit Games Update show on the schedule, do we?
No, not yet.
Dear Matt Souza. Oh, can we get update show on schedule and calendar? I made some wisecracks that there's no way in hell Mayhem or HWPO would take part in that competition, like if they did like the Tahoe Throwdown again, but they did it in modern times. And then I haven't seen the post yet, but yesterday I guess both all the camps responded on Dave's Instagram. Proven, HWPO, and Mayhem all like perked their heads up like, okay, we might be down. So I apologize to all three of you guys for thinking you guys were too big of pussies to do it. Please accept my humble apology.
Just need a little nudge.
Yeah, sometimes I'm off. I apologize. The apology part, I really mean it. That's cool as fuck. You guys are going to do it. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, Caleb.